And just like that, we are back in business. How is everybody doing out there in YouTube land? On another Saturday night. Hope everybody is doing good. Hope everybody is enjoying their weekend so far. All right. So I've been dealing with a few internet issues just before the stream started. So I don't know how well I'm going to look or come through today. But my watch page is looking good. So maybe everything will be okay. All right. So I did an internet test before I started the stream, and it showed me that my internet was super slow, and I was having some buffering issues on some videos that I was watching, getting ready for the show earlier. And so I was like, oh, great. I'm going to have internet issues just before the stream. But am I coming through all right? How do I look? Am I coming through nice and clear and strong tonight? Suzette Ann's here. She says, hi, Jake and everyone, coming through loud and clear. Awesome. Okay. I was worried that if I came out all glitchy and couldn't get a proper stream going, that I would have to reschedule for tomorrow. So hopefully, as long as everything keeps going good, then we should be good. Looks good. Sweet. Sweet. I might be freaking out for no reason. All right. Good times. Good times. All right. So before we even got started tonight, there was a super chat that came through from Davey D, longtime loyal watcher of my streams and my channel. Davey D from the LaFleur Network says, Saturday Night Live with Jake the Awake, your number one truther source here on YouTube. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Davey, getting us started with the first super chat of the night before the show even begins. Good times. I appreciate it. All right. So, yeah, everybody, welcome to another Saturday show. Danielle Funk's here. She says, hello, peeps. Hope everyone is doing well. Hi, Danielle. People are already getting out ahead of what I'm going to talk about in the stream. Brown's boy says, Fuentes is a psyop boy. Dude, don't spoil it. I know I have a smart audience who knows, when I'm going to call out one of these talking head shills. You guys already know pretty much what I'm going to tell you. So, yeah, without spoiling it, yep, we're going to be talking about Nick Fuentes later on tonight. Suzette says, hi, Jake and everyone, coming through loud and clear. Good, good, good. All right, all right. And Caden says, everybody, please like, subscribe, and share the stream. Hey, that would help a lot. Get me started with some likes and share the stream on social media if you can real quick. Just grab the link and share it over there. Who knows? Maybe we'll get an extra few people to join the stream that way. All right. Hope everybody is having a good weekend so far. Truth Hurts is here. It says, hello, all. Looks like I got some of my mods here as well. Rose Bell, one of my beautiful mods. Hi, Rose. Welcome to the stream. All right. Well, without further ado, we could go ahead and dive into the stream tonight. I wanted to show you guys a clip that I saw earlier today, short news clip. We'll start the show with this, and then we'll work our way into the Nick Fuentes clip later on when a little bit more people show up. All right. So we'll start the show with Trump making everybody laugh. Ted Cruz cracks up Trump, others in Oval Office with car purchase joke. Oh, this ought to be hilarious. I'm sure it's going to be extremely humorous.
And you'll see those results very soon. Anybody else want to say a few words? Oh, Ted, I can't believe it.
I'm easy to miss.
It's very rare that I would miss it. Go ahead, Ted.
Well, Mr. President, I want to congratulate you on behalf of everyone here for the leadership that you're showing. And this is a victory today for consumers. This is a victory for affordability. Your critics like to say the word affordability. Under Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Oh, ding. There you go. First off, I want to point, look how they crowd everyone in behind Trump, right? They get all these right-wing bootlickers to crowd in behind Trump. And this is supposedly the good guy side, right? So to the conservatards, these are the good guys fighting back against the bad guys. Meanwhile, if you really take a look at all these evil looks on their face, like they're all like standing there smiling with duper's delight, right? Nothing but a bunch of right-wing cronies here.
They put mandate after mandate after mandate on cars and trucks, and they drove the price up thousands and thousands of dollars. And with the actions you're taking today, and you put on top of that the one big beautiful bill, you know, most of the senators here on the Senate Commerce Committee and on the Commerce Committee, we worked together to zero out the CAFE standards. We wrote that into the law that the CAFE standards went to zero. What does that mean? It means you can now, as a consumer, buy the car you want. It also means people's lives will be safer, because what these regulations did is they forced cars to be more expensive and made of plastic instead of steel, because you had to make them lighter to comply with these standards. So you'd get in a wreck and people would die. The result of what you're doing, you're literally saving people's lives, and you're making it where families can afford to get a new car. These actions will drop the cost of cars and trucks thousands of dollars. That makes a real difference.
They would need to drop the cost of new cars tens of thousands of dollars, because right now new cars aren't selling because most people can't afford new cars. So let's be honest. Most people aren't buying new cars nowadays, and the new cars are sitting on the lots. So a few $1,000 isn't going to be enough. You're going to need to drop the cost of new cars significantly to get people to go back out and start buying new cars.
And I'll make one final point. You know, about half the members here are car dealers. And I will say my good friend Roger Williams out in the lobby, he tried to sell me a car, which didn't surprise me. But I just want to give props to Mike Kelly. He showed he was savvier because he tried to sell you a car, and you can afford a much nicer car than I can.
Listen to the cringy fake laughing, right? And I got a super chat from Kreger. He says, not feeling too well, but made it. Hey, Jake. Oh, well, thanks for showing up to the stream tonight, Kreger. And I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, bro. Hopefully tonight I can drop a few truth bombs, do a few impressions, and make you laugh, make you feel a little better. But if you're not feeling too well and you need to dip out of the stream tonight, you know, I totally understand. We all have those days where we aren't feeling well. But thank you for being here tonight, and I really appreciate the super chat donation, Kreger. Thank you very much, buddy. All super chats go to help this channel stay afloat, help me continue doing what I'm doing. So thank you very much for the super chat support, buddy. So listen to the cringy laughs, guys. And this is the side many people consider the good guys side, right? So people who are in favor of the right will consider the left to be the evil Democrats. But if you listen to this, these fake laughs and look at their faces with the duper's delight, do these people really look like they're on our side, right? And if you listen to what they're talking about, new cars becoming more affordable for families, like, I'll believe that when I see it.
Which didn't surprise me, but I just want to give props to Mike Kelly. He showed he was savvier because he tried to sell you a car, and you can afford a much nicer car than I can. So well done, Mike. Roger, you just went to the wrong customer.
That was $100 cheaper.
He tried to sell you a car. $100 cheaper. So just the way that they're all crowded in with their duper's delight right here. You still got hundreds of millions of people falling for this shit, thinking that this is the good guy side, right? This is the better side than the left. It's sad to see how many people still fall for the right-left paradigm, even though it's very clear, like, none of these people care about the struggles of the American people that we're going through. The middle class, the lower class is struggling in 2025, right? And these guys are acting like everything's better than it's ever been.
The thing that Ted just said, it's true. Plastic instead of steel. Think of that. And people died because of that. The plastic was plastic in an auto accident. Then it broke up and people were shattered because of that crazy deal. But it's a really good point. Go ahead.
And Mr. President, I'll tell you, the Senate Commerce Committee.
Okay. Am I the only one that noticed that what Trump just said was basically some nonsensical bullshit? Like, listen to what Trump says here. Let's go ahead and put the captions up on the screen.
Just went to the wrong customer.
That was $100 cheaper.
The thing that Ted just said, it's true. Plastic instead of steel. Think of that. And people died because of that. The plastic was plastic in an auto accident. Then it broke up and people were shattered because
the plastic was plastic, and then in the auto accident, the plastic shattered, and then the people died and they shattered because plastic is plastic and plastic is not metal. And these cars, they were made of plastic. So when they got into a wreck, when the plastic shattered, the people shattered along with the plastic. I'm going to be drafting up a bill from now on. We're going to have nothing but cars made of pure steel. We're going to have 100% steel cars that are going to be being manufactured. And one of the ways we're going to be able to produce pure steel cars without any plastic whatsoever, we're going to be implementing Trump-tricity into these car manufacturing plants. So these car manufacturers are going to be running more sufficiently, more efficiently, because as you know, Trump-tricity is leaner, greener, meaner, far superior than conventional electricity. Plastic is plastic, but metal is metal. So from now on, cars are going to be made out of metal and not plastic. Hey, thank you again for the super chat coming in from Kreger. He says, losers. Indeed. And still people are being hoodwinked by this right versus left paradigm. It's kind of like the hip thing to do if you are above the age of like 35 and you have a couple dollars to rub together. It's kind of the hip political stance to think that all the lefties are the enemies, all the lefties and the liberals are the ones who cause all the problems in the world, and the conservative side is the side of good guys, the side of truth, the side trying to fix things. So they've hoodwinked the older white folks especially into thinking that this is the side that you want to be on. And you want to point your finger at the evil, lefty, liberal Democrat side because they're the ones who cause all the problem. So they've convinced the right side, just point your finger at the left. It's those guys who are causing all the problems. And then, of course, people on the left are pointing their finger right back at Trump. And they say, no, it's Trump who's causing the problems. Keeping people in this right versus left paradigm, which is, of course, a controlled paradigm rolled out by the government. If they can keep you on the right side or the left side, they got you where they want you. So if they have you pointing your finger at the evil Democrats and agreeing with Trump, well, then they got you right where they want you. They want people to believe that the problems that the country's having is because of what Joe Biden did and what the lefties are doing. They want you to believe that that this is the side that you should follow if you want to see America improve. All right.
So that crazy deal. But it's a really good point. Go ahead.
And Mr. President, I'll tell you, the Senate Commerce Committee on January 14th, we're going to have a hearing with all of the big three there and Tesla. And the entire hearing is going to focus on how your leadership has reduced the burdens on car makers. That's lowering costs. That's giving consumers more choices, and it's producing more jobs in America.
All right, you guys, all you got to do is go look up like the new car market, and you'll find that hardly anyone is going out and buying new cars, and a lot of new cars are sitting on the lot. There is no shortage of videos here on YouTube. If you just did a quick search and looked at the sales of new cars, right? So if we're going into a recession, if more and more people are struggling, poverty's on the rise, then of course people don't have 40, 50 grand to drop on a new car. And people are realizing that the car payments that you're going to have to pay on a car like that is going to lock you into a huge car payment and insurance payment. And so more and more people are choosing to buy used cars. I have never bought a new car in my life. I've always bought and owned used cars. What about you guys? Do you guys buy new cars? How many of you guys are driving new cars, or do you guys buy used cars like me? My guess is the majority of my audience is probably not buying new cars either. Sunflower with a very generous donation says, congrats on 90K subs, Jake. Onwards to 100,000. Thank you very much, Sunflower. That is super sweet of you to send this super thanks or super chat, and very generous of you as well. Thank you. It's, we're going to be celebrating my 10-year anniversary next month. That's right, guys. January will be my 10-year anniversary here on YouTube. I started the Flat Earth Asshole channel in January of 2016, and now it has evolved into what we're doing here today, where I talk about all sorts of different conspiracies, and we're still rocking and rolling going into 2026. And I can thank you guys for supporting this channel. One of the reasons why we're still rocking and rolling is with awesome support from awesome subscribers like Sunflower and like all of you guys here tonight. Without you guys here supporting the channel, this wouldn't be happening. So I want to thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart for letting me continue to do this for you for the last decade. All right. So we're going to head into 2026. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. But you guys got to keep supporting the #1 real, genuine truth channel on YouTube. Awesome. Awesome. Got another super chat from Art Hawk. He says, divide and conquer, right? Let's get a Richie from Boston nano drone debate with Trumptricity. Please and thank you. Shout out to all my fellow Jake audiences. Much love. Richie from Boston, nano drone debate with Trumptricity.
Well, as I've been saying, I've been yelling it from the rooftops for years, and it just doesn't seem like enough people want to listen. The Chinese nano drones are here. They've been here. They've probably already implanted themselves inside of your urethra. They're microscopic, so they're able to fly up your asshole without you even noticing. And then they implant themselves in the inner lining of your urethra or your uterus, whichever they prefer. And once they do that, then, of course, they turn themselves into nano aids. So Chinese nano drones are the #1 cause of nano aids. And quite frankly, I don't think President Trump is doing anything to stop these nano drones. Well, quite frankly, Richie, you would be wrong. One of the things that we're working on, we're drafting a bill for 2026. We're going to not only be implementing Trumptricity into all of your homes, but we're actually going to be coming up with this new force field. It's going to be an invisible force field. It's going to cover the entire country of the United States of America. Very sophisticated technological things that we're doing here. Nobody does technology like I do technology. What this force field is going to do, it's going to block the Chinese nano drones from being able to infiltrate this country. Because quite frankly, as you know, Chinese nano drones are here and they are doing some very destructive things. So what we're going to do with Trumptricity, we're going to create a force field. We're going to keep the Chinese nano drones from getting in. Not only that, this is the best part. All of the existing Chinese nano drones, their circuitry is going to malfunction the minute that Trumptricity goes live across the country. Chinese nano drones were not built to run on Trumptricity. So what it does is it has a negative effect on the circuitry. So Trumptricity is literally going to get all of the Chinese nano drones to fall right out of the air and fall right out of your anus. You don't have to be alarmed. You can go ahead and take a natural dump like you would on any ordinary day. And the Chinese drones are going to naturally be excreted from your body. What? Is that really going to happen, Trump? Nobody does technology like we do technology. We're going to have China pay for the whole thing because, quite frankly, they are the ones who set these Chinese nano drones loose. So they're going to be the one paying the hefty price when all of the Chinese nano drones are rendered useless. There you go. All right. Richie from Boston and Trumptricity for you. Thank you very much, Art Hawk. I appreciate that. All right. And Art Hawk says, ha, 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 ha. So I guess that's his way of approving of my comedic bit. Thank you for your suggestion, Richie from Boston and Trumptricity. I can always count on you guys to give me suggestions to make you guys laugh. All right. Make sure I'm caught up on all my super chats and we shall continue.
And it's highlighted, that's a real record of success.
Yeah, well, it's an honor. And, they were going by California. We had like 2 different countries, California and 15 that followed California, because you had 15 states follow California. And the rules from California were just like everything else. That's why people are leaving. That's why it's such a mess. There's a state with such unbelievable potential. But what they did with the car industry is incredible. And that was, the car companies didn't know what to do because they had 2 standards and you can't build 2 different cars for the same country. And what we're doing today is very big. Would anybody like to say something?
Would anyone else like to say something? All right. So there you guys go. Apparently, new cars are going to be cheaper and made out of pure metal. No more cheap plastic. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to make cars out of more expensive materials and lower the cost. But hey, if Trump says it, the right-wingers are going to believe it, right? All right. So I asked you guys a while back earlier in the stream if you guys also buy used vehicles or if you guys buy new vehicles. David Koresh says $20K for a friggin' Hyundai, a Korean car. Yusuf Jeber says, fuck cars. Dwayne Patrick says, I never buy new. Walk Forgiven says, if it's a used car, it's got someone else's boogers in it. Well, I've bought some used Toyotas that have ran really well for me. So I've had decent luck with Japanese cars. Toyota has been pretty good to me as far as my used car purchases. So I had to take sometimes, a few weeks, three weeks, maybe a month to
find a good running Toyota that was still in good shape, that hadn't been driven into the ground. But right now I'm driving a old Toyota Sienna. My minivan is going to be 26 years old this next year, and it's still running pretty strong. So I picked up my minivan for $3,000, and it's lasted me for the last, God, I want to say I've been driving it like 3 years now. So if I can buy a vehicle for like $5,000 or under, and then drive it for a number of years and not have any problems or minimal problems, that's, to me, is a better deal than buying brand new. And then I can also turn around and sell my car just before it's about to break down. So I'll drive my car until the wheels are about to fall off, and then I'll sell it and still get some money out of it. So I had a Toyota Camry. I had a Toyota Camry for a while, and I sold it and got almost all my money back out of it. So in some cases, some of these used cars will hold their value fairly well. So I bought a Toyota Camry for $3,500 and drove it for a few years. And then I wanted to get a van because I wanted to be able to camp out of the van. And I like to be able to sleep in my vehicle. And so I got rid of the Camry, and I had drove it for a couple of years. I put, I don't know, 50, 60,000 miles on it or something. And so when I turn around and sold it, I got $3,000 out of it. So to buy a vehicle for $3,500, drive it for 3 years, and then get the majority of my money back out of it, to me, it felt like a much better purchase than sticking myself in the hole, buying a $30,000, a $40,000 new vehicle. And let's be honest, the new vehicles that are like $40,000, those are like the Korean ones, right? So like an American-made vehicle, now they want like 50 and 60 grand, right? And I can't afford a brand new luxury vehicle. So I am definitely a used car buyer, and I've had pretty good luck with used cars. And so my van that I'm driving right now, I've taken it to Las Vegas. I've taken it to, I drove it up to Washington and then to Minnesota. I've driven it down to San Diego. So I've taken all sorts of trips in my Toyota Sienna, and it's been a solid vehicle. Looks like I got a couple super chats coming in. Some impression requests. Can you do Neil deGrasse Tyson explaining the scientific reasons why Trump has to look like AI so you know it's real? One of the things about science is science doesn't care whether you believe or not. Science already has it figured out. And that's why AI is so important in the world of science. You see, if space travel is going to progress and evolve, then we're going to need to embrace artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is going to help us go beyond where man has been able to take us so far. So we actually should be very glad that artificial intelligence is here, because artificial intelligence is way smarter than those of us who deny science. So, artificial intelligence, there's really nothing artificial about it. AI is real. Some people, they think that Trump is artificial, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the way that we interact with each other. Artificial intelligence is improving day to day technological advances across the world. So the fact that you're able to see Trump on TV in real time, we can thank artificial intelligence for all this wonderful technology being created on a daily basis. They say that jobs are going to be lost due to AI, but really, science is going to be improved. And the fact that science is going to be improved by artificial intelligence means that everyday life is going to be improved. The only people that have a problem with artificial intelligence are those who flunked out of science class. All right. I was having trouble trying to figure out some scientific reasons why Trump has to look like AI. So I had to kind of bullshit my way around that impression. But thank you very much, doxological thinker, for the comedic suggestion nonetheless. James Matthews says, can you do an RFK impression?
Many people assume that I am anti-vaccine, but this couldn't be more further from the truth. I've never been anti-vaccine. In fact, I've taken several vaccines in my lifetime, and my children have also been vaccinated. In fact, I don't understand where this rumor began that I was anti-vax. I've always been a proponent of vaccinations, and I will continue to promote vaccinations in the future. There are a number of vaccinations that I do agree with. However, I do think it is the choice of the American people. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a huge turd that's enlarged in my ass. It's stuck in my ass right now, and at any moment this turd might bust loose. So if you'll excuse me, I need to make my way to the restroom right now because I have a giant turd lodged in my ass and it might come out at any moment. Oh.
There you go. There's your RFK.
President Trump, he also recommended that you should take your vaccines, and I stand with President Trump, and he also recommended that you take your boosters, and I recommend the same. I stand with President Trump in agreement and solidarity.
RFK for you. Thank you, James, for your comedic suggestion. All right, I got a few laughing emojis coming in. Lets me know I'm on the right track. LaFleur says, spot on RFK. Oops, he's got a shit.
I was alarmed to find out about these Chinese nano drones. I had no idea that there likely is Chinese nano drones that have already flown up my ass and possibly have implanted themselves in my urethra. It's wonderful to hear that President Trump has a plan to create a force field to get rid of these nano drones.
Doxological thinker says, bro, what you came up was way more believable than anything Neil deGrasse Tyson would say. Thanks for another epic impression. So one of the things Neil likes to do is he likes to say something that's really not even funny, not even slightly humorous, and then crack himself up. There's people out there that still can't wrap their mind around the fact that the moon landing did happen. I mean, we're going back. What more proof do you need? NASA already went there a number of times, and they're fixing to go back. Those who can't believe that science is indeed at the forefront of human evolution, they probably believe that the world is flat. Tiny minds who have tiny ways of thinking will believe that the earth is flat. But those of us who didn't flunk out of science class, we know the truth. It's not flat, man. It's round. I personally have never been up there to see it as a ball with my own two eyes. But I trust those who've been up there. They have no reason to lie. They work for the government, for Pete's sakes. Right? Neil deGrasse is always cracking himself up with just like regular shit that he says. All right. I think I'm caught up on super chats. Let me go ahead and get to our main clip of the day with Nick Fuentes. Art Hawk says, I'm a supervisor at UPS, and working for UPS is awesome. So here you go, my friend. Let's get RFK and Richie trying to get rid of nano butt drones. Thank you, bro. I didn't know that UPS is awesome. All right. Hey, I'm glad to hear that you enjoy your job. I don't know anybody who works for the UPS personally. So, good to hear that you have a job that you enjoy. A lot of people don't enjoy their job, so I'm glad that you are enjoying what you do. Let's see. He says he wants Richie from Boston and RFK to get rid of the nano butt drones.
So I personally would like to reach out to RFK because he hasn't figured out yet that the nano drones are here and that they are inside of him. And so he was talking about how he might indeed have nano drones inside of his anus. RFK, if you're listening, it's not a question of whether you might have Chinese nano drones inside of your anus. You 100% certainly do have nano drones inside of your anus. Now, you can wait for Trump to get rid of these nano drones, but what I would suggest is that you get yourself some 100% clean and pure organic Bible vape juice. I'm going to vape some right now. I'm sitting here in my Overlander and I'm vaping the purest, cleanest, holy water Bible vape juice available to mankind. And what this does is it gets rid of all of the nano drones in your system. And if you use my promo code down below, you can get your very own 100% organic Bible vape juice cartridges. All right. I'm vaping on one right now. These are going to keep you clean and pure, free from the nano drones. I highly recommend RFK, if you're watching right now, that you get yourself some of my organic Bible vape juice. Free yourself from the nano drones that are enlarged inside of your anus. That's wonderful news, Richie. I actually did happen to see your video, and I want to reach out and thank Richie from Boston for helping me get rid of these nano drones that were indeed stuck in my ass. I thought that I had a giant turd lodged in my ass, but what was really happening was nano drones were taking over my entire anus, causing me to think that I had a giant shit lodged in my ass, but it actually was Chinese nano drones. So what I did, I took Richie from Boston's advice and I ordered some of his organic Bible vape juice. In fact, I've been vaping it all day today. It has a very clean flavor, and what it's done is it has started to alleviate the pain and the discomfort that I've been feeling from these Chinese nano drones. I've already started to excrete the nano drones from my body. Thank you very much, Richie from Boston, for helping to heal me. I am already feeling much better. You're helping to increase the longevity of my life with your organic Bible vape juice. I would recommend everyone order some of Richie from Boston's organic Bible vape juice if you can. You can get 20% off if you order with his promo code on his channel. Thank you, Richie.
There you go. Richie from Boston with this organic Bible vape juice. All right. Got the laughing emojis coming in. I thank Jake. Awesome. All right. Glad you guys dig it. All right. Good times. Good times. All right. So it looks like Big Money Bob bought some memberships and gifted some out to people here. Thank you very much to Big Money Bob for the gifted memberships. That is a very kind and generous thing for you to do, to buy memberships and to hand them out here on the stream. Give it up, guys, to Big Money Bob. If you're one of the lucky people who got a free membership from Big Money Bob. And from what I gather, when you buy the gifted memberships, I think it goes to random people here in the chat. So I'm not sure exactly like how it chooses the random people or whatever. But if you are one of the people who got a gifted membership, personally, thank Big Money Bob for that. Big Money Bob, fist bumps to you, bro. And thank you to everybody sending the super chats tonight. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So that's going to bring us to our main clip that I wanted to show you tonight. Nick Fuentes was recently on Alex Jones' program, InfoWars. So we're going to go ahead and check that out now. I know a lot of people follow Nick Fuentes. So I'm going to play this clip for a few minutes, and then I'll point out some issues I have with Nick Fuentes. I mean, first off, he's going to be sitting here with Alex Jones. So you can already guess where this is going to go.
You want the facts. You want them clear. Nick Fuentes is speaking here. America first.
The policy, I don't trust the intelligence agencies to do this, but I get hemispherically this, like you said, this isn't neoconism, this is realism. But just briefly, and I'm not attacking you. You just make the joke like it's a debate, but it really isn't a debate, so I didn't call it a debate. I remember.
Whoa. Captain Fucktard, cool name, says, hey, Jake, they just said Tim Pool's house was shot up. Okay, we will. So this is the first I've heard this. We'll check into this right after this clip. Because Tim Pool is another shill on the world stage. So we'll look into this right after I show this clip. Because this is the first I've heard of it. So it looks like we might be covering some breaking news tonight, if this is indeed true.
Seeing like a year ago, Alex talks about Bilderberg Group and the Globals, maybe 2 years ago, but he's like, it's really this. But what about the big tech? What about the big banks? What about, to me, there's that.
Rose says she doesn't know who Nick is. So Nick is essentially another Candace Owens. He's a right-wing talking head. And so he's one of these far right-wing talking heads who he positions himself as anti-Israel. And so he's like one of these shills who will be like, I'm anti-Israel, so therefore you can trust me. The same, basically it's the exact same spiel as Candace Owens. So he basically will, he'll basically say everything that the mainstream narrative is telling you. He just does it through a far right mouthpiece, basically. So Nick Fuentes won't tell you the truth about what happened to Charlie. Nick Fuentes won't tell you the truth about what happened with Trump's ear, right? Nick Fuentes won't tell you the truth about any mass shooting. But there's a lot of right-wingers who think that he's a truther because they think that he's anti-Israel, which is about as stupid as believing that Russell Brand is a truther because he claims to be anti-vax.
That whole corporate globalist system, and obviously Israel's heavily involved in, China and others, but you're a smart guy. You know your geopolitics, so certainly you understand that the heart of the Western globalist power structures, the big corporations. How do we deal with that wild card? I mean, I see Trump putting pressure on BlackRock, at least on the surface. States.
So here we got somebody disagreeing with me, and every time I point out a right-wing shill, there's always a right-wing shill defender. So when I pointed out Candace Owens as a shill, there were several people who were like, no, she's anti-Israel. She's a truther. You're wrong. And then I went to her page and pulled up a video of her interviewing Russell Brand and kissing his ass. Shills of a feather flock together. Candace Owens is a right-wing shill. And so is Nick Fuentes. And if you follow Candace Owens or Nick Fuentes, that means you are following right-wing shills. That means you are being duped by the right-wing paradigm, or right versus left paradigm, which is a controlled paradigm set up by the government. If you are following right-wing shills and thinking that they're telling you the truth while you demonize and vilify the lefties and the liberals, they've got you right where they want you. The government wants you to pick a side. So if you pick the side that Candace is on, if you pick the side that Nick Fuentes is on, if you pick the side that Russell Brand is on, you pick the side that Alex Jones is on, you're picking a controlled side. The only winning maneuver in this game is to not participate in the right versus left controlled paradigm, which is what I do. I don't participate in the right versus left paradigm. I call out both sides. So whenever I call out a right-wing talking head, there's always somebody who's one of their fans who wants to defend them. Nuh-uh! Candace Owens is anti-Israel. Oh, yeah? Did Candace Owens come out and tell you Charlie's still alive? Nope. Right? Has Candace Owens ever showed you a mass shooting and then pointed out how the whole thing was theater and that it didn't actually happen? Never once, and she never will. Art Hawk says, can we get Russell Brand singing Land on the Moon? Come on, Jake, you can do it. Russell Brand singing Land on the Moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. We take the rover and we go to the moon. Hold on. We take the rover and we go to the moon, because then you know we're going to come back soon. We rove to the east, we rove to the west, because you of course know I'm a horse face and we rove the best. We land on the moon, land on the moon, land on the moon, we land on the moon. And yes, my friend, we will come back soon. We take the rover, we rove to the moon. And yes, my friend, we will come back soon. We rove to the north, we rove to the south. We're going to rove right inside of your horse face mouth, because we land on the moon. We are experiencing, indeed, in this very economic uncertain time, where we must stand aside amongst the global compromises, which are the underlying compartmentalized, intertwining, underlying indifferences that we face in this everyday world in which we partake in this great nation of independence, but virtually all of our independence is being taken away from us. So therefore, we must stand back. We must speak out against the global compartmentalization across this great nation with the organization of the independent global compromises media corporations. There you go. I took the song and then just started turning it into a random Russell Brand spiel. We take the rover, we go to the moon, and of course, my horse face means we're going to come back soon. And as you can see, I've got a little piece of hay stuck in my teeth because I am one of the ugliest horse face British Nancy boys you have ever seen in your life. And that's why when I hang out with Candace Owens, I, of course, promote my message. She promotes her message. And all messages are united and combined together to make one combined message to the people, by the people, and for the people. All right, I don't even know where I'm going with that. All right, I lost track of where I was even going with that. But thank you for the comedic suggestion, Art Hawk. Rove, rove, rove. Everybody now. Rove, rove, rove. Come on now. Rove, rove, rove. Oh, with my horse face. Rove, rove, rove. Everybody now. Rove, 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 rover. That was harder than I thought. Oh, that was ridiculous. James says, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid singing Land on the Moon. I don't play Metal Gear Solid, bro. I'm sorry, James, but Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, I have no idea who or what that is. And it would probably take me several minutes to try and look it up and figure it out. I will give you an opportunity to come up with a different character. So a different voice that and I'll sing Land on the Moon for you with some other celebrity voice. So if you'd like me to sing Land on the Moon and any other celebrity's voice, preferably one that you know I can do, because I have no idea who Solid Snake is. So, oh, it's Javid. Javid. Yeah, I have no idea who that is, bro. So, could you please change your request to somebody that I can do and who I know who it is? I always feel bad when somebody has a comedic request and it's something that I don't really know or have never heard of, because I want to fulfill everybody's requests. Fred Durst, Land on the Moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. We take the rover, we go to the moon. Yeah, cause then you know that we come back soon. We rove to the east, we rove to the west. Cause bitch, you know that we rove the best. We land on the moon, we land on the moon. Yeah, land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Yes, my friend, we will come back soon. We take the rover, we rove to the north. Take the rover, we rove to the south.
Take the rover, we rove in your mouth. Take the rover, we rove all around. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. And yes, my friend, we will come back soon, man. Everybody now, roll, 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 man, man, roll, 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 man, man, roll, 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 man, man, roll, roll, roll. Come on now, roll, roll, roll. Everybody now, roll, roll, roll. Come on, man, roll, 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 man. You think you're special? You do, 'cause you're roving on the moon. I can see it when you look at me, laugh at me, and look down on me. Man, this time I'm gonna let it all come out. This time I'm gonna stand up and shout. I'm gonna rove on the moon my way. It's my way or the highway. Man. All right. What do you guys think? Did I pull it off? This is hard sometimes. I have to do this on the spot. So sometimes, you guys, I will be thinking in my head like, oh shit, how am I going to pull this off as I'm trying to do it? Right? So it's not like I have, 24 hours to work on this and come up with a fucking bit and then deliver it. It's like when somebody makes one of these requests, I just have to grab my nuts and try my best. And so not every one of my comedic impressions is going to be a home run. Sometimes I'm going to swing and miss. But hopefully I delivered at least a solid base hit for you on that one. All right. Let me make sure I've got all my super chats caught up. And thank you very much, Javid, for the super chats. Sorry I couldn't do Solid Snake from Metal Gear, but Fred Durst singing Land on the Moon is definitely a new one that I've never done before. All right, let's get back to the show here. But first, before we do, Javid's coming through with another super chat. He says, bro, get the Switch 2 and play Metal Gear Solid. It's very portable. No need for Wi-Fi. Fred Durst's Moon was awesome. You almost said rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep roving, keep roving, 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 roving. Man, roving, 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 roving. Man, roving, roving, roving. Man, now I know y'all be loving this shit right now. Fred Durst on the moon right now, roving all around, roving out of town. We gonna rove all day right now. Keep roving, 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 man. So, here's the thing. I don't play video games because I wasted a bunch of time when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was in my 20s, even into my 30s. And so I wasted so much time playing video games that I don't want to sit and play video games because it always makes me feel like there's something else I should be doing or could be doing with my time. So there was a time where I spent money on video games and would play video games, and that time of my life is basically over, and I don't really miss it. And so I have a bunch of old video games that I bought. I went back and bought an old NES and Super Nintendo and Sega and Nintendo 64 because I wanted to relive my youth and play all these old video games. And once I went back and played all the old video games, I eventually realized that like anytime I spend playing any game, there's always something else I could be doing with my life that would be more beneficial. So I appreciate the super chat from the bottom of my heart, but to spend money on any sort of video games and then spend my time looking at the screen, playing a video game, there's something I could be doing to help this channel grow or to make content for you guys or do a live stream, right? So I could be doing this live stream for you guys,
helping entertain you guys rather than play video games. So I spent way too many years playing video games, and I don't miss the time that I wasted. So I would recommend anyone out there, if you play too much video games, that you cut down the amount that you play. I know it can be fun and a nice way to escape from the bullshit of your everyday life, to play a video game for a while. So I know what that's like, to want to escape and play some video game. I used to play, Call of Duty online and shit. I used to play Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that. So the last console I had was a Xbox 360. So I haven't bought a new console in a long time. I haven't played online in a long time. So the last time I played like online Call of Duty was like Xbox 360, like Modern Warfare, one of those. It was a long time ago. So I'm disconnected from the video games to the point where I don't miss it anymore. But thank you very much, Javid, for the very generous super chats. I really appreciate it. You have been a long time watcher and viewer of the channel, and you have sent dozens, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 super chats to my channel. You've sent so many super chats, I can't keep track of how many you've sent. So thank you, Javid, from the bottom of my heart, for all your support of this channel. I really appreciate it, brother. All right. I should probably get back to this Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones here.
Like Texas winning lawsuits against them for trying to cut our carbon output. I see Trump getting us out of the Paris Accords. That is so huge, getting us out of carbon taxes. That's incredibly positive. I mean, how do you respond to that power block of the overall globalist corporations?
Well, I mean, when you look at Trump, he's a pro-Wall Street candidate. I mean, he cut the corporate tax rate in 2017. He extended the corporate tax cut again this year. And you look at the donors. You get Ken Griffin backing him. You got Tim Mellon, a banker, giving him $200 million. And who was at his inauguration? It was Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. It was big tech and little tech together. So to me, I look at Trump as basically, at this point, a pro-establishment figure. They're not afraid of him. The New York Times, the Washington Post, they don't give him, and no one talks about this, but they do not resist him half as much as they did 10 years ago. In 2016, when Trump ran the first time, you remember, it was brutal every day. The coverage was 99%
no, I totally
negative.
agree that a lot of the establishments capitulated, and Trump's danger is looking like establishment when he hasn't yet even won. So let me ask you this then. But the deep state, the Democrats, the elements of the CIA, they're all trying a color revolution, or you disagree with that? Because they're.
So Alex Jones, he likes to make it out like the bad guys are the lefties, the liberals, the deep state, the globalists, right? So both these guys right here sitting next to each other, they're going to talk about, it's these damn globalists, it's these corporations, it's these evil liberals who are ruining the world, right? Because they are right-wing talking heads. At this point, Alex Jones is nothing more than just some glorified right-wing talking head. The fact that you have Nick Fuentes sitting next to Alex Jones should tell you all that you need to know, that he's just another shill, right? If you're sitting next to Alex Jones, that means you are a shill. So anybody who you see go on InfoWars and get promoted through InfoWars, that means they're just another puppet on the world stage. You can't trust anything that comes out of their mouth. Furthermore, they're just going to perpetuate what you already hear from the mainstream news. So somebody like Nick Fuentes, for instance, you're not going to see Nick Fuentes tell you the truth about what happened to Charlie. You're not going to see Candace Owens tell you the truth about what happened to Charlie. You're not going to hear Alex Jones tell you the truth about what happened to Charlie. Nick Fuentes isn't going to tell you the truth that Trump didn't actually get shot in his ear. Candace Owens isn't going to tell you the truth that Trump didn't actually get shot in his ear. Trump's not going to tell you the truth that Trump didn't actually get shot in his ear. So really the standard for being a truth teller, do they tell the truth about major psyops, or do they go along with the mainstream narrative? And in this case, Nick Fuentes 100% goes along with the mainstream narrative that Charlie is dead. There isn't one single mainstream puppet that talks about Charlie not being dead. There isn't one single mainstream puppet that is going to tell you the truth that Trump wasn't actually shot in his ear. None. You have to get truth like that from a guy like me. So again, anybody still following Nick Fuentes, how can you follow a guy that won't tell you the truth about what happened to Charlie? How can you follow a guy that won't tell you the truth about Trump's ear being shot? How can you follow a guy who never breaks down any mass bang, bang, pow, pow situation? Call it out for what it is. But I still see people getting drug right back into the right versus left paradigm by guys like Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens. So if you are still participating in the right versus left paradigm, they got you right where they want you. And sadly, a guy like me, when I tell you that these guys are all on the same team, all these talking heads are all on the same team, I get attacked. People will say, oh, Jake's a lefty because he's not actively sniffing Trump's taint. Oh, Jake doesn't lick the scrotum of Nick Fuentes, so Jake must be pro-Israel. So there's this rhetoric now where if you don't kiss these right-wingers' asses, these talking heads' asses, if you don't side with them, then you must be on the bad guy lefty liberal side. And it couldn't be farther from the truth. I call out both sides, the right and the left. When Joe Biden was president, I called him out for being replaced by imposters, and I called out Joe Biden for the government for using AI Joe Biden, right? And so whoever the president is, they're going to get my attention, and I'm going to call them out. So if the next president is Bernie Sanders, for instance, a liberal, I'm going to be doing a Bernie Sanders impression, and I'm going to be busting his balls for his entire presidency. So if the next president, and my guess it will be a liberal, expect your boy to bust the next liberal president's balls. So I don't want anyone thinking that I prefer the left over the right. I don't care who the president is. All the politicians in my world are on the same team, and all of the politicians, you can tell when they're lying, when their mouths are moving. So I can't say this enough times. The right versus left paradigm is a controlled paradigm. The right wing and the left wing are attached to the same dirty bird. Yet there's still people who say, Jake, you're wrong about Nick Fuentes. He's anti-Israel. Oh, yeah? Well, how come he doesn't call out Trump for that fake shot on his ear, for the assassination attempt on Trump? How come he doesn't call out that whole staged bullshit? Nah, you won't hear him say a word about that. How come Nick Fuentes doesn't say a single thing about Charlie still being alive? No, he's not allowed to do that. So the hardcore right-wingers will tell you that Charlie's dead and it was a professional hit by Israel. Meanwhile, somebody like me will tell you Charlie's not dead and the whole thing was political theater. That's real truth. So the real truther is a guy like me, right, who doesn't have the millions of subscribers, doesn't get promoted by the mainstream media or by a bunch of other right-wing talking heads, right? No, nobody's really promoting me. I rarely ever get a shout out from anybody, right? This is what real truth looks like when you tell the real truth. People ignore you, try and discredit you. You don't get any attention at all. And you're waved off as just some crazy cuckoo conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, they have millions of followers, and they lead their followers right back in to the controlled right versus left paradigm.
Definitely trying to foment, don't follow orders. They're definitely trying to set something up. I agree their power is diminished. Who makes up the kind of leftist leftovers?
Well, it's difficult to say.
Whoa. The leftist leftovers.
Trying to foment, don't follow orders. They're definitely trying to set something up. I agree their power is diminished. Who makes up the kind of leftist leftovers?
Here's a question for you, Nick. You're a smart guy. Maybe you can tell me this. Who makes up the leftist, leftaroonie, leftist? Can you tell us that, Nick?
They're all trying color revolution, or you disagree with that? Because they're definitely trying to foment, don't follow orders. They're definitely trying to set something up. I agree their power is diminished. Who makes up the kind of leftist leftovers?
The leftist leftovers. Because let me tell you what, my neighbor is definitely one of these leftist leftovers, and I'm fixing to eat my neighbor's ass. My babies will not go hungry. Folks, as you know, we're headed into a recession. Times are getting tough, but my babies shall not go hungry. In fact, I'm fixing to sacrifice my lefty leftover neighbor. He's nothing but a lefty leftover liberal, and I'm fixing to sacrifice his ass. I'm fixing to chop my neighbor's ass up. I'm going to grind my neighbor's ass up into mincemeat, and I'm going to feed my neighbor's ass to my babies. I'm going to feed my neighbor's ass to my babies like a mama bird feeding its baby birds. I will eat your leftist ass.
Well, it's difficult to say because they seem to be very disorganized, and it's hard to say who's on what side at this point. You know, a lot of people came over to the right after October 7th, which is sort of interesting. You know, you had people like Bill Ackman, for example, who was a left-wing guy, now is on the right. He was a left-wing Jewish donor. Now he's on the right because of the whole Israel issue. So the question is, who is really left? I think that they've lost a lot of the institutional Jewish support. USAID got rolled up. So I think a lot of the money that came from the NGOs is drying up. The Trump administration is doing a good job of fighting back against that. So where are their power centers? Well, you could even say that Zuckerberg was a major booster for the Democrats in $300 million from Zuckerberg Chan Foundation. Yeah. He didn't even put money in 24. He sat it out and he did the whole rebrand. He was like a tech bro, changed his look. So you've got Reid Hoffman, you've got Bloomberg, you've got Pritzker, you got Hollywood, and I'm sure there's a lot of holdovers, a lot of stay-behinds in the CIA and in the State Department and the federal bureaucracy. There are actually still a ton. But it really is a
diminished headless horseman. I agree. It's like a decapitated chicken running around.
It's like a decapitated chicken running around.
Definitely Will Sasso playing the role of Alex Jones. That's my guess. We got Will Sasso as the new AJ.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to say who will then emerge and take leadership. Obama allegedly has been orchestrating a ton of meetings in DC over the past week.
Obama has allegedly been orchestrating a bunch of meetings in DC. We've been seeing ever since October, a lot of people are coming over to the right side, and even Jewish people are now coming over to the right side. And this is because of the leadership of Trump, right? Nick Fuentes, this guy's full of shit.
With Susan Rice and Victoria Nuland, for people that know who that is, and a lot of other like
deck chairs of the Titanic.
Yeah. So they're trying to get it back together.
So you're right, though. We should put all our pressure on Trump. When I asked the question, it was rhetorical at the first, but do it right, not fake stuff. Do real serious stuff like you're doing. You're right. Everything is about the populace we have in, putting pressure on them to stay true, because the left is basically on a suicide mission.
The left is basically on a suicide mission. Folks, as you know, there's good guys and there's bad guys. And these frickin' lefty liberal leftovers, you goddamn frickin' fragging globalists. They are, of course, the bad guys. If you've ever watched professional wrestling, there are baby faces and there are heels. We are the baby faces. As you can see, Nick here, he's actually literally got a baby face. That's how you know we are the good guys, folks. And these lefty, leftover democrats, they are, of course, the heels. They are the ones who you want to cheer against. In fact, these are the people you should actively boo. We are the ones you should be cheering for. We are the baby faces here, folks. We are the good guys. And these goddamn frickin' globalists, they are the evil goddamn heels. These are the ones you should be booing. You should be giving them the thumbs down.
Well, yeah, and I just think that they're not the biggest threat right now. They're pretty disorganized. The biggest threat right now is that we're going to lose the initiative on the right. And what I basically want to do is fortify the right wing.
There you go. He wants to fortify the right wing. There you go. Proof. Nick Fuentes is nothing but a right-wing talking head. He just told you what he is.
They're not the biggest threat right now. They're pretty disorganized. The biggest threat right now is that we're going to lose the initiative on the right. And what I basically want to do is fortify the right wing in the way that Trump did the first time.
He wants to fortify the right wing in the way that Trump did the first time. There you go. He's admitting he is a conservatard. Again, right versus left paradigm is a controlled paradigm. If Nick was a real truth teller, he should be, first of all, he shouldn't be on Alex Jones' show. Second of all, he should be telling you that. I'm telling you the right versus left is a controlled paradigm. Why isn't Nick Fuentes telling you that? No, he's too busy saying he wants to fortify the right. That's where they want you. The government wants you to pick one of these sides. That's why they have characters like Nick Fuentes to get you in the right camp. The right wing camp. So this is his job, is to get anyone over the age of like 35 to pick this side. Anyone who's white, conservative, considers themselves against Israel. This is the puppet right here who they have to dupe those conservatards. And like I said, you will never hear this guy tell you the truth that Trump didn't get shot in his ear. You'll never hear this guy tell you the truth about Charlie. You'll never hear this guy tell you the truth about any mass shooting.
Because before Trump took the fight to Clinton, he first had to level the whole conservative movement. He had to fight Fox News with Roger Ailes at the head at the time, and he had to fight, that whole constellation of think tanks that were dominant back then, the consultant class, as well as all the politicians, the Bush dynasty and the donor base.
But it sounds like you're saying, in a way, Trump's more dominant than ever, but it's his to lose. Because it's paradoxical. You also say MAGA's in trouble, which I agree. He's defeated the system on the right wing. He's got control, but now he can sink the ship because he's the captain if he runs into an iceberg.
Exactly. Yeah. Very well said. Yeah. He's slipping. He's losing the initiative. And, and it's an unforced error. Like I said, if we cede economic populism to the left, we're going to open up a door for them to come back. And it'll be hard for the right wing to recover if this administration's
open up a door for the left for them to come back. See, the left is them, but he speaks about the right as if it's the good guy side, because that's the side that he's on. So this rhetoric, it demonizes and vilifies the left and gets you to side with the right side. And if they get you to pick a side, they got you right where they want you. Again, the government wants you to pick a side. So they got these guys here telling you which side you should pick.
Complete disaster, because a lot of people voted Republican for the first time in 24. A lot of people came over because of the pandemic, because of the Ukraine war, all that
and
kind of stuff.
Rasmussen has found they're now swinging Mondami.
So then he just right there talked about the vote.
People voted Republican for the first time in 24.
So anyone who brings up the vote and doesn't tell you that your vote doesn't count and doesn't matter and that the whole thing's a sham, well, there you go. You know he's a shill. So yet another reason why Nick Fuentes is a fraud and a shill. Talking about the vote. Oh, more people voted for the Republican candidate than ever before. We got so many more new voters to come over to the right side. Oh, well, how come you don't tell us about how our votes are meaningless and that the whole thing's a big sham and a scam and it's not really an election, but it is a selection? I would love to hear that come out of his mouth, but of course we know that that's not going to happen. So yet another reason why this guy's a total fucking phony, pushing the vote, talking about why more people are voting right than ever before without mentioning that the whole fucking vote is nothing but a government orchestrated scam.
A lot of people came over because of the pandemic, because of the Ukraine war, all that
And
kind of stuff.
Rasmussen has found they're now swinging Mondami.
Exactly. So if we blow it this time, we're really going to blow it. The voter registration in Pennsylvania is now going left for the first time in years.
Yeah, Trump needs to act like a rebel and an underdog that he is, not the emperor in a gold gilded cage.
Yeah, he's got to take his prize. I don't get it. Like, we won the election. We won.
There you go. He's saying we.
Yeah, he's got to take his prize. I don't get it. Like, we won the election. We
won the election. You know who that sounds like? Like an NFL fanboy. We won the Super Bowl. I'm an Eagles fan, and we won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. We kicked the Chiefs' ass so bad because we are the best team. I watched the Eagles on TV because I'm a fanboy, and we beat the Chiefs so bad in the Super Bowl. It was over in the first half. And then we won the election too. So not only did we win the football game, we won the election. Right? So this guy includes himself whenever the conservative side wins an election. He includes himself as we, which is exactly where the government wants you to pick a side and consider it we. They want you to consider yourself part of one of these groups. He obviously considers himself part of the right. He says we. I don't say we and refer to myself with any of these motherfuckers. No. When I say we, I mean like me and you guys, right? Like, we know that these guys are full of shit. But I'm not going to include myself with either the left or the right and then say we won the election. So this guy, if you listen to him, he proves exactly what he is. He pushes the voting system the way it is and talks about it as if it's a legit voting system. He considers himself part of the right wing. He definitely isn't going to tell you any of the truth about any of the psychological operations that are going on a daily basis. So again, when people think that this is some sort of truther, you couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, he's definitely not going to tell you that Alex Jones, the guy he's sitting next to, is Will Sasso, right? You'll never in a million years see him mention anything about this. You would never, ever in a million years see Nick Fuentes bring up anything about Alex Jones possibly being Bill Hicks in the past. And you'll never see Nick Fuentes bring up Alex Jones currently being played by Will Sasso. No, you have to listen to a guy like me if you want to hear a theory like that. Meanwhile, in this very interview, Alex Jones is super pixelated and glitchy. So just the way that these two guys are stitched together in this interview, it's like This is like an AI Alex Jones played by Will Sasso. This could be an AI Nick Fuentes for all we know. Just look at the way that they're green screened in together. And then they got the Christmas tree in the background. So they're promoting Christmas in the background, which of course, as most of you would know, it's a pagan holiday. So just this setup, the way they have these two guys on screen, like they aren't even in the same room doing an interview together. It's like you could have two different AI versions of these talking heads, stick them together. I mean, we got to figure that the AI is good enough that we might be looking at two dudes who might not have even talked to each other in this video. This might be some AI meetup between these two guys, for all we know.
One, after the persecution, he got shot in the head. Take your prize. Do
By the
what
way, I predicted that he would not involve with Epstein in sex, but do it for Israel and MI6. And now it's come out in the emails they released. He worked for the Rothschilds, MI6, Mossad. That's always been known, but now it's confirmed. Trump literally wasn't involved with sex and Epstein, but he connected himself now. What a mistake.
What?
He worked for the Rothschilds, MI6, Mossad. That's always been known, but now it's confirmed. Trump literally wasn't involved with sex and Epstein, but
Trump literally wasn't involved with sex and Epstein. We know what Trump was literally involved in, and he literally was not involved in sex and Epstein. Folks, there's evil, lefty, leftover globalists trying to confuse the minds of the voters in the United States. They want you to think that he's involved with Epstein and sex, but it has been proven Trump is not involved with sex and Epstein. There was definitely no sex and Epstein doing anything along with Trump on Epstein's island. That's a lie told by the friggin' globalists and the deep state.
Huh? Literally wasn't involved with sex and Epstein. Oh, okay. That's good to know. There's rumors going around that Orange Jab Daddy is involved with sex and Epstein. But according to Alex Jones, it's not true. He's literally not involved with sex and Epstein.
he connected himself now. What a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Why shouldn't he just released all the files to begin with? Now we get the worst of both worlds because all this stuff is coming out about him anyway, and it doesn't look like it's actionable. Doesn't look like he was on the island or anything like that. But, you know, like you said, now he's associated with it. So
God.
Yeah, and now we're getting all this information come out, and people think that Trump's associated with all this sex on Epstein's island. So now we know that that's completely not true.
Confirmed. Trump literally wasn't involved with sex and Epstein, but he connected himself now. What a mistake.
yeah, exactly. Why shouldn't he just released all the files to begin with? Now we get the worst of both worlds because all this stuff is coming out about him anyway, and
Yeah, exactly. So now we get the worst of both worlds because all this stuff was coming out about him anyways. And as we know, he probably was never on Epstein's island. And these were all just a bunch of rumors perpetrated by the left. I don't understand what the appeal is with this fucking scumbag liar.
it doesn't look like it's actionable. Doesn't look like he was on the island or anything like
It doesn't look like it was actionable. It doesn't look like he was on the island. Oh, it doesn't look like he was on the island? The fucking made up fucking place, the movie set where all these politicians supposedly did all this heinous stuff with minors and whatnot.
that. But, you know, like you said, now he's associated with it. So
God, it's just advisors that just briefly, Venezuela, since you were on a few weeks ago, what's your view on it now?
I think we should take a deal with Maduro, honestly. I think that, you know, and who knows what's going to happen at this point. I think it's inevitable there's going to be military action, and Rubio wants to roll up the whole Caribbean. He wants Venezuela to go, then Cuba, then Nicaragua. And if he could pull that off, I mean, it's good. If he could pull that off, that would be an achievement. I mean, we would look back on that and say, wow, like we reoriented the Western
But it could
Hemisphere.
launch a new Vietnam.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is it's never that simple, is it? It always sounds tantalizing, like, oh, we're going to take over Iraq and then the whole Middle East will be a democracy. But it never really goes that way, does it? So
I mean, yeah, of course it sounds tantalizing that we're going to take over the whole Middle East and turn it into a democratic system. But of course, that's never going to happen. This guy's every bit as full of shit as Alex Jones is. He just doesn't have a overwhelming, over-the-top personality like Alex Jones. So he's easier to listen to. So the fact that he's sitting next to Alex Jones, though, that basically tells you all you need to know about this guy.
you know, Venezuela's not Panama. And we've been trying to take out Maduro for a decade. We've been trying to take out Cuba for half of a century. I don't know that that's all going to come to fruition. So at this point, it's unavoidable. I think we're on a collision course.
Yeah.
We've been trying to take out Cuba for half a century, and it seems like we're on a collision course. You know, this we. See, he's in the big club. He's on the world stage. That's why he gets to include himself as we.
When do you think Trump starts bombing Venezuela?
I think it'll be within the next couple months, maybe sooner than that. I think that Trump is going to try to give diplomacy a chance. He called Maduro, and Maduro has a choice to make here. Doesn't have a lot of cards to play. So it really comes down to whether Maduro is going to go quietly. But if he doesn't, then I think the bombs are going to start going anytime now.
And then this on screen right here, right? Like this would be so easy to fake, right? I'm sure AI can spit out something like this in a second. I mean, let's be honest. They can just blow up any boat and then show it to us, and then say that it's a drug cartel boat or it's an enemy boat, right? This could just be some totally fucking fabricated, made up by AI footage that we're looking at.
Maduro's going to go quietly, but if he doesn't, then I think the bombs are going to start going anytime now within the next couple of months.
Absolutely. I want to jam in a few calls here. People find you at Nick J. Fuentes on Rumble. But man, I'm a little jealous. I never had the Democrats try to pass a law against me. But you know,
I'm a little jealous, folks. I'm jealous of Nick Fuentes. I never had these lefty liberal leftovers try and pass a law against me. But one thing I do know is I'm fixing to eat my neighbor's ass. I'm going to saute up my neighbor's ass with some fava beans and a nice side of Chianti. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass, folks. I'm so jealous of Nick Fuentes. He's got all the lefty liberal leftovers all pissed off. I wish I could get them as pissed off as they are at Nick Fuentes. God damn it, why aren't they as mad at me as they are at Nick Fuentes?
Sanctioned in Congress by the Senate. That's most 20. I never heard any 26-year-old having that happen, Nick. I know you're not on a power trip.
Now he's starting to just mumble and lose his train of thought. Listen to this.
And I'm a little jealous. I never had the Democrats try to pass a law against me. But you know, a sanction in Congress by the Senate. That's most 20. I never heard any 26-year-old.
And it was sanctioned by law in Congress, and that's most 20. Never heard of 26.
Yeah, mumbling much.
Having that happen, Nick. I know you're not.
Not him, Nick. No. Congress is 20. Said Democratic Republican representatives.
On a power trip, it's how you're able to control it. But you ever like wake up and go, "Wow, is this real?" Like, you know.
It's just kind of ridiculous. I'm like I do a talk show, I do a live stream, and it's like we're passing a resolution in the Senate condemning this live streamer. I'm like, don't you have other stuff to do?
Well,
Like,
don't they know? I mean, I actually wish Schumer would please give. I mean, God, Hillary came out and called me the dark heart. We got like 10 million viewers extra the next day.
Hillary came out and called me the dark heart. We had 10 million viewers the next day. It's almost like Hillary was promoting me, almost as if shields of a feather flocking together. I wish Hillary would talk about me more often because we had 10 million extra viewers the next day.
So there you go. I don't know how much longer I want to put up with these guys. So there you go, Nick Fuentes, right-wing shillbag. All right, what do you guys think? Tree says, I'm getting a Michael J. Fox guy vibe from this dolt. Michael J. Fox vibe. Lasers go pew pew said, really? Weren't you sued for like $100 billion, Alex?
Folks, I got sued by these freaking lefty liberal leftovers, and they basically took all the money that I had and then some. But I'm still here, still doing the same job as if nothing ever happened. It's almost like I never lost any money at all. It's almost like that money never really even existed.
Yeah, imagine that. You get sued by Sandy Hacks for $1 billion. Yet you just continue doing the exact same job you were doing before and nothing changes. Luis Hernandez says the real Alex Jones died 10 years ago. Well, it's definitely not Bill Hicks anymore. And I've said this plenty of times that they got rid of Alex Jones they replaced him like a year ago with this new version of Alex Jones, and he hasn't been the same since. So this new version of Alex Jones, I truly believe it's Will Sasso. And I think they're using a combination of like AI technology, maybe even hyper-realistic masks, but something's definitely off, and it hasn't felt the same ever since they made the switcheroo. All right. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. So let me go ahead and put on AJ's song, and I'll be right back, y'all. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like size it up, gonna haul him up, back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up, gonna haul him up, back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast. I'll tell them, Oh, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass.
He will eat your ass. All right, there you go. And it looks like Davy D. LaFleur coming in with a super chat. He says, here's $14 to play this link. All right. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to take your word for it. And I'm going to play it. Let me go to my watch page and get the link real quick. Oh, looks like a video you did about Jeranism. All right. Looks like Shady Davy D is promoting his own video.
Hey guys, me Jeranism. I mean Globism. How funny. Remember, I'm in the balls now. So if you're making me angry, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I have a very serious question. Okay? So if we go anywhere that there is on this earth and the times matches, how can this not be a spear? Really, me, Jaren? You like my new mustache? Okay. I'm in the balls now. Let's start the show. Jeranism.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick.
I'm nothing more than a controlled psyop. Really in the balls. Check out this big blue ball. Okay? I'm gonna push the official narrative. Journalism. If you're a flat earther, you really need to hear this stuff. I'm really in the balls. I like to push the official narrative. You know, everybody knows how the sun works on this ball. See, 12, here's 12. 12 is on the equator. All the way across the top of this ball. Okay? I fooled you all. Big scammer. I showed you how this worked on an AE flat earth map as well, okay? Okay? Journalism, globism. It's not funny. I'm in the Spaceballs. Hope you like my mustache. My new stash. Okay? Now, the globe Earth can be predicted on every single sunrise and sunset in every single location. Okay? Has a flat Earth community ever proved that? You ever proved that? The flat Earth has never accounted for any sunrise or sunset. It's a pretty big discrepancy. Okay? I use big words sometimes because I'm Jared. Yeah. During globism. The globe seems to be the winner here. I like balls.
So here's what's going to happen. People who have no idea who Jeranism is, they're going to be like, what is this shit? And they're not going to get it. People who know who Jeranism is and how boring he is and that Davey is doing a parody of Jaren, those are the people who are going to get it. And those are the ones who might think it's funny. But anyone who doesn't really know Jaren and hasn't kept up on how much of a boring shill he is, then you're going to be confused. So basically, Davey's doing a parody of a globe cuck shill who I have feuded with in the past. So just in case anyone was confused as to what the hell this is Davey, and he's making fun of this guy Jeranism by pretending to be Jeranism.
Balls in space. Balls spinning around and shooting around. Yeah. Same stars. Okay. I believe the official narrative is on things now. Yeah. I'm angry. Fooled you all. Big scammer. Not funny. I pulled you all. Now we can talk about the spinning ball spinning around all we want. I don't have to believe it. Don't have to believe that the sun is 93 million miles away. Okay. I don't have to believe it. I don't have to believe in flying rock debris, flying asteroids, satellites. Okay? It doesn't take magic. We went to Antarctica. I spooned with MC Toon. I got to see Patrick Duffy and his Will Duffy leg. Or his Patrick Duffy leg. Okay? It was cold there. Very controlled operation. We didn't really see nothing. Couldn't really go nowhere. Okay? Like balls. Turn globism. Fooled you all. I said I was going to take down my channel. I lied. Fooled you all. Real piece of shit. Love balls. As you're all aware, I usually have somebody in the VIP with me. You know what I mean? Usually have somebody in the VIP. Usually Karen B with me in the VIP. Alex Stein don't want to hang out with me no more. He got too popular for me. But next week in the VIP, I'll have Karen B with me. Maybe she'll give me some stinky pussy. I don't like pussy no more. I like balls. Could go both ways. You know I'm gay? My wife cheated on me. I'm gay now. I like balls. Making me angry. Making me angry. Okay? So, of course, I like to push the official narrative now. Little balls. Because I'm not, or never was, the famous flat earther. That's shady David D. LaFleur's title now. But the earth isn't flat because we cannot predict it. Okay? Can't predict it. It can be done. It'd be deceptive. So it's got to be a ball. Okay? It'd be deceptive. Yeah. I like balls, okay? That's it for me. So that's going to do it for me this week. Really hope you guys enjoyed my mustache. Okay? I do appreciate all the ball lovers. The ball.
All right. Oh, wow. Yeah, the problem with a video like that is it's like it will only appeal to a very, very niche audience. So A, they have to know who Jeranism is, and there aren't that many people who follow him or even remember him anymore. So Jaron has basically become irrelevant. So the problem when you're making fun of an irrelevant shill is the amount of people who will recognize what you're doing and appreciate it is going to be just a tiny niche audience. But I like when people make fun of Jaron, so I appreciate what you did there. Thank you, Davey D, for sending over the link for your video. And if anybody enjoyed that and wants to see any more of that, you can go subscribe to Davey's channel. Thank you very much for the donation, Davey. I appreciate that. So, guys, I wrote down a while ago somebody mentioned that Tim Pool's house got shot up. So I don't know if that's true or what. So let me see if I can do a search for Tim Pool. Oh, yep. It looks like the Tim Pool is definitely in the news. All right. Looks like we can start with a mainstream news clip, and then we can see what these other guys are saying about him. But this is definitely going to be a psyop. Before we even get started, this is most definitely some staged bullshit.
And I do want to take you out to some breaking news that we have been following here as we gather additional details. Take a look at this post here as an investigation is underway after someone apparently shot at the home of well-known conservative commentator Tim Pool. The podcast host has millions of followers all over social media on multiple platforms and has become an influential voice for some conservatives out there. Now, he posted a short time ago this right here on his X page saying, quote, "Last night, a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil."
Ah, nice try. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. Last night, a vehicle approached our property and opened up fire. No one was hurt. Our security team will be reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. So what they basically make it look like is that if you are a right-winger who speaks out against the left, that you can be killed at any time. Doesn't that sound exactly like that Charlie story, right? So now they want to make it out like Tim Pool almost ended up like his buddy Charlie, right? So any right-winger who speaks out against the evil left, yet you might be the target of an assassination attempt, right? Because as we know, the evil lefty Democrats, they tried to kill Trump. They even shot him in his ear. And those evil lefty liberals, they killed poor Charlie. And now they tried to kill Tim Pool, well-respected right-wing talking head. Yeah, nice try. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's just going to get right-wingers to rally around this guy. Oh, Tim Pool is telling so much truth that the evil left is like trying to kill him at his house because he's such a truth teller. Right. Meanwhile, I tell more truth than all these motherfuckers combined, and nobody's tried to kill me yet. How about that? The guy who tells more truth than all these motherfuckers combined, no one tries to assassinate me. I'm just completely ignored, right? Never promoted. But if you're a right-wing talking head, oh yeah, there's all these people out there to kill you. This is how you can gain sympathy from the right, by making it out like evil people on the left are trying to kill you just for giving your regular ass normie conservatard opinions. Sure.
And no question, a lot of folks out there, especially Republicans, are putting out some information here to provide kind of their take on all of this. And I want to pop this up on your screen. This is coming in from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She replied to the comment and said, "This is terrifying. I'm glad everyone is okay. Everyone must stand together against this type of political violence and intimidation, no matter who it happens to, whether you..."
So when this happens to right-wing talking head Tim Pool, he gets a shout out from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who says, "This is terrifying. I'm glad everyone is okay. Everyone must stand together against this type of political violence." Oh, we should stand together against all these evil people who are trying to kill poor Tim Pool for speaking so much truth. And we shall not be intimidated by this type of political violence, no matter who it happens to, whether you like them or not. Oh, what a wonderful thing to do by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene to stick up for Tim Pool. See, all the right wingers, they're in the same camp. They cross-promote, cross-pollinate each other. They make it out like, for sure, whoever did this must be some evil lefty deep state member trying to bring down the conservatives who tell the truth.
You like them or not. And we also have a post here coming in from General Mike Flynn, who did serve under the first Trump administration, saying this is the sort of madness that occurs in a deeply divided society where the adversaries are seeking to create crises instead of stopping them from happening in the first place. Glad to hear no one is hurt. We need to figure out how to return to sanity quickly before worse domestic conditions are created by those who foment false flags and fake crises for the sole purpose of creating chaos. Now, he did tag several different people in that post, including President Trump and Secretary Kristi Noem with the Department of Homeland Security, as well as Secretary of Defense and War, Pete Hegseth. Now, it's important to note that all of this here is coming months after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who was another big right-wing political voice.
There you go, right? So on the heels of the staged political theater, which was the Charlie incident, now they can compare this to that incident, but they can make it out like Tim Pool was very lucky that he didn't lose his life like Charlie. So they compare these situations, right? So those of us who are smart enough to know it's nothing but political theater, we can see what's going on here. But a lot of people aren't smart enough to see through this, so they're going to fall for this hook, line, and sinker.
The founder of Turning Point USA fatally shot as he spoke to a large university crowd over in Orem, Utah. That was back in September. As for this investigation here, it is still underway, so we are going to bring you any kind of updates, a news conference, or potentially any other remarks here on Live Now from Fox, as we always do.
All right, so check it out. We've got a bunch of different options to choose from. So when you see this many people talking about it, definitely political theater. All these guys talking about it. It's like the main story. I'm not sure which one of these I want to click on.
Now, you guys probably already know Tim Pool. He has one of the biggest podcasts out there, Tim Pool IRL, Timcast IRL, actually, on YouTube and Rumble. He gets something like, 40,000 people watching him live 5 days a week. He also has his own Timcast show. Gets a ton of views.
A guy who gets a ton of views just so happens to be getting promoted by all these YouTube channels right now and the mainstream media at the exact same time. Do you think that's going to hurt or help his channel? So all he's got to do is be a part of this story where somebody supposedly tries to kill him. And this is, of course, going to bring him millions and millions of new viewers who are all going to be there to kiss his ass and support him. So all they got to do is come up with a story where somebody tried to kill him, and it's going to benefit him, right? So they're going to prop up this right-wing talking head by making it out like what the right-wing talking head talks about almost got him killed. So therefore, he must be saying something important if someone tried to kill him, right?
And folks, guess what happened last night? His home, I believe it was at his home, got shot at. Now, thank God, man, no one was hurt. Happy to say that no one was hurt. Now, this isn't the first time that someone really has tried to attack Tim Pool. If you guys remember, what was it? Last year before last, his one of his properties was actually what do they call it, guys? Where people call in like
This guy's boring. Let's see who else is talking about this right now. See what the mainstream narrative is. Let's type in Tim Pool, see what pops up. See what the quartering says.
What's wrong, everyone? Jeremy here, albeit.
So this guy's a total right-wing tard muffin. This guy has his head up Trump's ass. So I know whatever comes out of his mouth is going to be support for Tim Pool. I don't like this guy at all because he's a total Trump taint licker. But we'll hear what he has to say.
Sleep deprived with a bit of breaking news because, of course, well, this is a big deal. It's being reported, multiple sources now, that somebody rolled up to Tim Pool's property and opened fire. And this is not the first time that Tim has had these type of situations. Some he publicizes, some he doesn't. Obviously, there's an ongoing police investigation. But I've talked to Tim about other times that this stuff happens, and it's always kind of tough to go public with it. Now that he went public with it, I want to share some of the details that I have and what we kind of know. First and foremost, thankfully, everyone is safe. Nobody was hurt. But this is a stark reminder of hopefully who our real enemies are. And I want to get into this quick. I appreciate all your well-beings. One like equals one positive vibe.
This guy's like uncomfortable. He's always like looking around and like he takes forever to fucking make a point. I don't understand how this guy has as many subscribers and gets as many views as he does. It's just a typical Trump taint licker, and just the way he fucking talks to the camera is just terrible.
We went through 4.5 hours of surgery yesterday. Wife's back home today, and it's going to be a long road.
He's like, we have some breaking news, and this isn't the first time that this has happened to Tim. So the fact that it's happening again really isn't all that shocking. So my wife just told me when I got home that somebody tried to shoot Tim, and thank God that nobody was hurt. Like that's what it feels like when I watch this guy.
To recovery, but she's been in pain for several years, basically over a year now. And my schedule may be spotty this week as I tend to her, but I appreciate you guys all being patient and understanding and your positive vibes and your prayers and your kind messages. Also want to recommend too, I know it's a weird video, but I'm just reading up about RAM prices and how they're like tripling because all these AI data centers are buying them up. So I talked to my sponsor over at Meta PCs, and they are doing everything they can to keep RAM prices down.
So I'm going to talk about something that's not related to Tim and his house being shot up at all. I'm going to talk about the price of RAM. And so my manager told me that they have RAM. And so now I'm going to talk about the affordability of computer RAM when I should be talking more about what happened to Tim Pool. Like, right? Like, bro, get to the fucking point. Nobody cares about the RAM in this video because it doesn't have anything to do with the title.
They feel good.
Title's Lunatic Opens Fire at Tim Pool. Here you are talking about fucking computer RAM, bro. Get to the point.
Good about it for at least through the end of the year. They are veteran owned. They have custom PCs. It's the only computer I use. It's the only laptop I use. And when you go to their website or link in the description, promo code The Quartering will support the channel, will save you money. And if you pick up your PC now, which I told them I'm going to be out there in a few weeks, I'm going to be picking up my PC too, because it'll probably be the last one I can get for a little while. Now, this from People magazine, right-wing political commentator Tim Pool says a car opened fire on his home late last night. They used a child picture of Tim. I'm sure he loves that.
They used a child picture of Tim. I'm sure he loved that. Okay. Is this important?
A child picture of Tim. I'm sure he loves that. Right-wing political commentator Tim Pool, I don't know if he's right-wing or not, but certainly his enemies think that he is.
I don't know if he is right-wing or not. I'm sure left-wingers think that he is, but they are calling him a right-wing political commentator, even though I'm not sure if that's what he is. Oh, this is a fantastic news source, The Quartering. This guy's really breaking it down.
Had his home said his home was involved in a late night attack. In the next post on Saturday, Tim Pool wrote, last night a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. And by
dude, I'll bet you if I went through this 12-minute video and just snipped all the it'd probably be 4 or 5 minutes of just right? So this is a 12.5-minute video. I'll bet you at least half of it is fucking
By the way, I love how they list where he lives. But anyway, I mean, that's basically public knowledge. Detailing that no one was hurt. The podcast host, who is married to producer Allison Neubauer, and they have just a newborn baby. And also, I think it's worth pointing out there's always lots of other people at the Beanie compound. So it's a lot of people who, I'm concerned about. He wrote, our security team's reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is a price we pay for speaking out against evil, Poole concluded in his social media post. I'm sure people will be rushing to say that this was TPUSA that did this, but I'm assuming it's another leftoid.
Assuming it's another lefty.
TPUSA that did this, but I'm assuming it's another leftoid.
Leftoid? All right, I gotta read the captions. Yeah, leftoid. But I'm assuming it's a leftoid because Tim Pool, I think he's a conservative right-wing speaker, and so anyone who would try and attack him, they would probably most likely be a leftoid. Oh, what an amazing assumption, Quartering. Of course, Tim Pool is a right-winger, and he speaks the truth. And there's all these evil leftoids out there who want to silence him. So let's just go ahead and assume it's for sure a leftoid, right? Leftoid.
In another post, Poole added, my immediate thought is someone was trying to scare us, but we have a security gate and armed guards, and it's possible that this deterred something more serious. I mean, maybe this was some, well, if we go by, recent statistics, a trans individual who was going
maybe this is a trans individual.
to go into that house and do something horrible.
If we go by recent statistics, then maybe it's a trans individual. So maybe it's a lefty libtoid trans individual. He's assuming, maybe. It's a safe assumption.
I thank God every day that my show is so much smaller. I don't have to deal with this kind of stuff.
I thank God every day that I'm not as popular as Tim Pool, so that I don't have to deal with this stuff. You thank God every day that you're a small channel and that you don't have to deal with this. Think about that. He thanks God. Like what? Does he wake up in the morning and go, God, thank you for keeping my channel small and me not being a more popular person so that people try and shoot me like they did to Tim Pool. So I want to thank you, God, personally, God, for making my channel small so that nobody shoots me. He thanks God every day. There's not a day that goes by that he doesn't thank God that he has a small channel so that he doesn't get fucking shot like Tim Pool. What a stupid fucking lie, right? Like, no, you do not pray to God and thank God every day that you have a small channel and that you don't get shot. What a fucking stupid lie. Dr. Thinker says, can you do the quartering guy translating for Stephen Hawking? Stephen Hawking says that he really wishes that that he could walk again, and he said that he misses the feeling of what it was like to not be in a wheelchair, and before he dies, he wants to experience what it's like to sleep with a woman one last time. I think when Stephen was mumbling, I think what he was trying to say is that he misses getting an erection, and he says his dying wish is to have sexual intercourse one last time. There you go. There you go. I never expected I was going to have the quartering do a translation for Stephen Hawking. Doxological thinker. Excellent comedic request. I had no idea that I was going to be showing this guy's video tonight. So I didn't even know that Tim Pool's house got shot up. That was brought up during this stream. And then I was just looking for different videos talking about it just so that we could make fun of it, break it down. And so this is happening all on a whim. The only clips I was going to show you tonight was the Trump clip from way earlier, and then the Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones clip. Those were like the only two clips that I had planned to show you. And so this just kind of happened on a whim. And so thank you very much, Doxological Thinker, for your comedic request. Hopefully I delivered.
not to mention the immense cost that it probably costs to keep him and his family safe. Representatives for Poole and the Harpers Ferry Police Department have not yet responded to people's requests for comment about the incident. He shared, we all know who Tim is. Poole's met with support from various allies in the comment section. This is awful, Tim. I'm so sorry this happened. Things are getting out of control. It's happening more frequently. Megyn Kelly wrote. Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote, this is terrifying. I'm glad everyone's okay. Everyone must stand together against this type of political attacks and intimidation, no matter who it happens to. And I agree with that. Left wing, right wing, no wing. This kind of stuff is not okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm part of the no wing, and I think that this is all a bunch of fucking fake bullshit. So you don't get to speak for the no wing because you are a fucking right winger. In fact, this dude is a total Trump taint licker. I swear to God, this dude right here would willingly like drink a cup of Trump's jizz and he would be all proud of himself. So he doesn't get to talk about the no wing perspective. I am the no wing perspective. And my perspective is this is a fucking fake story to garner sympathy for Tim Pool, which is a right-wing talking head. And then they can compare this to what happened to Charlie, which was staged political theater.
This obviously marks, this incident at the Pool residence marks a series of politically centered attacks. Back in September, Charlie Kirk, a media personality who was founded conservative advocacy group Turning Point USA, was assassinated at just 31 years old while at Utah Valley campus.
There you go. I just brought up Charlie, and then he brings up Charlie. Right on cue. Lemming in a shiny metal box says, Sir Jake, what would be your first impression of a Tesla Cybertruck painted macaroni and cheese yellow orange? I saw one on the roads today. Thank you for the stream, good sir. So I have talked about in the past that Cyber Teslas, the Cybertruck, is a recalled vehicle. Apparently, thousands and thousands of them were getting recalled because panels were coming loose and falling off of the truck. So it was basically like a safety hazard that panels were falling off of the truck. So since there was a nationwide recall on it, and from what I hear, the lots that were selling them are having a hard time selling them. And then most of all, the resale value, and I just heard this like a couple days ago, the resale value on a Cybertruck is like nothing. So electric vehicles in general and smart vehicles, they charge you an arm and a leg. But then if in a year or two you want to try and sell it, it loses more than half of its value. So all these electric vehicles, these smart vehicles, the secondhand consumer market just isn't there. So people are taking a tremendous loss on electric vehicles, and Cybertrucks are considered to be like some of the worst new vehicles that have been produced. So I would not be interested in a Cybertruck no matter what color it is, right? Even if you gave one to me, I would be worried about shit falling apart and shit going wrong. And it would make me feel weird to own a Cyber Tesla truck because I'd feel like, that everything I'm doing inside there is going to be like on camera and I'm going to be spied on, and that they could just have me drive over a cliff at any moment. Anytime I would be like near a cliff, I'd be afraid that the Cyber Tesla would just like go into self-drive mode and drive me right off a cliff, right? So since I am a real truth teller, I'm afraid of smart vehicles, electric vehicles. I'm afraid if I get into a smart vehicle, they're going to lock the doors and drive me into a fucking lake, drown me, drive me off of a cliff. We can actually, if you guys want, we can watch one of these videos about all the electric car owners who are upset that they bought electric vehicles. There's a shitload of people who are having buyer's remorse over their electric vehicle purchases. And one thing I didn't know was that to charge up your Tesla at these electric charging centers, it actually costs money, and it's almost like the same as getting gas. So in my mind, I thought that like it was free to just go to these Tesla charging centers and charge up your vehicle. But apparently they charge you money for using the electricity at the charging centers. And then there's people who are realizing the time spent sitting at the charging center isn't worth it, that it's taking a lot longer to travel to places because they have to stop at these charging centers and then sit there and then wait for the vehicle to get fully charged. So we can actually put on a video and show you guys some of these electric vehicle owners who have serious buyer's remorse. But Lemming in a shiny metal box, I definitely want to thank you for your generous super chat. You donate to the channel often, and you are a loyal watcher and subscriber of the channel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your generous super chat tonight. Fist bumps to you, sir. All right. I'm about sick of the quartering. So yeah, guys, I'm not buying this Tim Pool shit at all. We don't even have so much as a video clip of the supposed shooting occurring, right? So they haven't even shown us so much as a grainy video clip of a car shooting at Tim Pool's house, right? They could have at least shown us some grainy, shitty footage if they really wanted us to believe this. But I still wouldn't believe it even if they showed us that. So boring ass Zach Rios, who has like one of the most boring fucking reaction channels on the internet. He was the one that put out the people regret buying the electric vehicles video. So we'll just check that out real quick, just in case any of you guys are thinking about buying one.
Ford Mach-E. Yeah, because his wife is buried in this thing. They said they should have leased it, but they bought it.
I regret buying my Tesla. Never thought I would say this, but it messed up today.
If anybody needs to be defluenced from buying an electric vehicle, let me tell you how much my tags are.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at people who regret buying their electric vehicles. Now, this is for many, many reasons. We have a lot to go over today, so I'm not going to make the intro too long. We also have comments from you guys from previous videos.
So I didn't know that this many people were having buyer's remorse over electric vehicles. Davey says, thanks, Jake, for the stream. Always entertaining content and dropping truth. Want to welcome all to a new layer of LaFleur premiere tomorrow. Subscribe. So Davey D, he is a loyal, longtime subscriber to this channel, and he's donated many, many super chats over the years, and he's going to be premiering a new video tomorrow, and he's leaving it a mystery as to what that video is about. So if you guys want to check out Davey D's new video, he's premiering one tomorrow. Thank you, Davey D, from the bottom of my heart. You've donated like 3 different times tonight and countless times in the past. I really, really appreciate the support, buddy. I can't thank people like you enough for helping to keep this channel afloat, helping keep me doing what I'm doing, celebrating 10 years of content here on YouTube. And you know what? I wouldn't be making it to 10 years without an awesome audience like you guys. So I got to take this moment right now to thank all of you collectively. You guys are the most awesome audience on YouTube, and I cannot thank you enough for following me all these years.
All right. If you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just jump right into the clips.
I don't like to consider myself a hype beast or anything, but I bought into the hype of the electric cars finally. And everyone's like, oh, you're going to save money on gas. You get to beat the traffic. You know, it's so quick. These charging stations are out of control. So I pulled into this charging station at 66%, okay? You know, I heard a fast charging station, 15 minutes. Let me tell you something. I'm at 89 now, and I've been here for almost 15, 16 minutes. Thank God my car is going to be ready to 100% in 40 fucking minutes. Not only that, $18.45 it's costing me. I could have went to a gas station, ate gas station food in their bathroom, came back, listened to a whole album, and still got to where I had to go quicker.
Dude, that right there puts it into perspective. He's sitting there while it's charging, and it's going to take another 40 minutes. And as you guys know, hey, time is money, right? Who wants to spend their time sitting around at a fucking Tesla charger waiting for your vehicle to charge, right? So I didn't realize that this was happening. I thought that all these Tesla owners, like that the reason they bought them was because they could get to charge their Tesla vehicles for free. And I didn't realize how long it took and that most of these people don't have a home charger. So after I saw this video, I found out a lot of people don't even have a home charger. And so they're basically at the mercy of these Tesla charging locations. And then you're paying basically for the electricity, and then you have to sit there. So if you calculate the time lost and that you're still paying for the electricity, yeah, it's hard to consider these vehicles better than gas vehicles at this point.
I could have went to a gas station, ate gas station food in their bathroom, came back, listened to a whole album, and still got to where I had to go quicker.
And you didn't look up any of this stuff before you decided to buy one of these cars? Just walked right into the dealership, signed on the dotted line, and had no idea that this was the case? Both knowing how long it takes to charge these vehicles, especially to 100%, and that you have to pay for this charging as well. I feel like there are many people out there that just think the electricity is free just because it's not gasoline. This is a pretty common problem throughout a lot of clips on social media, and it goes very well with a comment from one of you guys.
I just figured that, like, since Tesla made these vehicles and then they have a Tesla charging station, I just figured that, like, it was part of the deal. I always thought that these Tesla buyers were buying them because you get free electricity at the stations and that you don't have to pay for gas. I thought that was the main reason why people buy a Tesla, is so you save money on gas, right? Isn't that what they're using as the sales tactic? Telling people, oh, it's so much better than a gas car. You get to save money on gas, and then you just recharge your car. So now I'm seeing it's not like that.
2 weeks researching a push mower I wanted, and these people are impulse buying 5 to 6 figure EVs. And I guess they have no idea what they're getting into.
Whoever thinks that they want a Tesla, they don't. It's the worst mistake of my life. I've had it for like, I don't know, like a month or two. And I literally have to charge it at a charging station every single day because I don't have a charger at my house. I'm f***ing over it.
Again, I'm kind of repeating from the
house.
Dude, this girl could be kind of cute if she didn't have these fucking stupid lashes. Like, dude, what's up with the fake lashes? If you're a decent looking chick, just go with your natural look, right? But no, she's got to have these fucking weirdo lashes. Looks like she has a filter as well. Like fake beauty.
Over it.
Again, I'm kind of repeating from the first clip. You didn't do any research. What do you think you'd be able to do? Just plug it into an outlet in the house and it'd be fully charged? Another comment here, people buying EVs and not being able to charge at home is wild. I agree. I think that should be researched and budgeted into the overall cost of the car, but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll just go over to the next clip with another common misconception I've seen with these EVs.
I regret buying my Tesla. Never thought I would say this, but it messed up today. The screen has stopped working.
That would be one of the main things I'd be afraid of. Planned obsolescence of the car. So if the entire car is a computer, then that means it could be programmed to break down, right? So the last thing that these electric car manufacturers want to do is give you a super reliable vehicle that's going to last decades, right? No. So what if they give you a vehicle that'll last 4 or 5 years max, and then they can cause it to break down by purposely having the computers malfunction. Like the computers can be programmed to malfunction. The car can be programmed to break down. Look at this dude right here. He's got a Hold on one sec.
Say this, but
He's got a key as an earring. I don't know if you can be any gayer than this guy right here with the key earring, but he's trying his best to be like the gayest dude in the world.
it messed up today. The screen has stopped working. We'll just have to send in for a service request and see what can be done.
So I've seen a lot of comments on social media talking about EVs, saying that it's so much easier to maintain compared to a gas car. There's not nearly as much maintenance, no oil changes. However, some people also start believing that this car would have no issues as well, zero maintenance. You'll have no problems while owning this car, and that's just not true. Obviously, these vehicles have a lot of tech and electronics. And
so yeah, if you drive an older vehicle that doesn't have that big computer screen and whatever, it's a lot more basic and a lot more simple. And so you're not going to have to worry about Tesla programming your Toyota to break down, right? So that's one thing. I drive a older minivan. I don't have to worry about my vehicle being programmed to stop working, right? And I'm sure it costs an arm and a leg to repair a Tesla if the screen stops working and electrical components stop working, need to be replaced or whatever. So imagine they can get you on the hook for thousands of dollars with something that they programmed into the computer system, right? They can send over a car virus to your car and make it break down in real time. And then they know you're going to bring the vehicle to the dealership and they can charge you an arm and a leg to repair it. Nicholas Giannakakos says, could you do Trumptricity versus regular electricity and how superior Trumptricity is and how we will charge China triple the cost for Trumptricity? Let me tell you something right now. We're doing some revolutionary things with the Trumptricity technology. We are very close to debuting Trumptricity into all of your homes. Trumptricity is, of course, leaner, greener, meaner, far superior than electricity ever dreamed of being. Nobody does technology like I do technology. And when we roll out Trumptricity, you are definitely going to be blown away. Now, people are going to be wondering, where exactly is this Trumptricity going to be manufactured? We are actually in the process of building Trumptricity plants all over the nation. We're also going to be converting old, rusty, dusty, crusty electric plants into Trumptricity plants. It's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be amazing. And right now, we have China on the phone. They're begging to get in on this action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tariff China, going to tariff China's ass so that China finances the entire thing. We're not only going to make billions and billions and billions, but we're actually set to make trillions and trillions. In fact, we may even make quadrillions and quadrillions. Scratch that, sextillions. Sextillion is even more than a quadrillion, even more than a billion, even more than a million. I quite frankly think that Trumptricity is the greatest revolution mankind has ever seen. So I expect in the future, America is going to be saving sextillions and sextillions and sextillions of dollars. And of course, once we do that, you know who's going to be financing the whole thing? China. And then, of course, right after China pays for the whole thing, I'm going to look China right in its face. I'm going to stare China right in their beady little slanted eyes, and I'm going to say, China, you're fired. There you go. That's what's going to happen. China's going to pay for all the Trumptricity. And then once China's done paying for all the Trumptricity, Trump's going to fire China. Yeah. It's like killing two birds with one stone, right? Get China to finance the Trumptricity and then just fire them. It might sound ridiculous, but this is how we are going to install financial freedom into every household in America. You're going to have the financial freedom to go anywhere and do anything, and it's all thanks to Trumptricity. There's a reason why all these
lousy liberal Democrats are trying to stop Trumptricity from being implemented into all your homes. And that's because Creepy Joe, he wants you to go into a recession. He wants you to go into a depression. We're going to avoid the supposed recession that people think we're going into, and Trumptricity is what's going to bring us out. You will not experience any depression whatsoever once Trumptricity is flowing in all of your lovely homes. All of your wildest dreams are going to come true, and you can thank me. Nobody does Trumptricity like I do Trumptricity, and that's a fact. See Me Rollin' says the Trump impressions are great and Trumptricity is brilliant. So I came up with Trumptricity. That is an original bit by me. And I came up with that, I think, a couple years ago. I think it's been a few years now. And so I probably bring it up once every stream. If I start doing a Trump impression, you can rest assured Trumptricity is going to get worked in there in one way or another. In fact, earlier tonight, it was probably an hour ago or longer, I was talking about how Trumptricity was going to have a force field over the United States to keep the Chinese drones from flying up our assholes. So this is like the second or maybe even the third time tonight that I've brought up Trumptricity. So Trumptricity here on this channel is wildly popular. So thank you very much for enjoying my own unique brand of comedy that you won't get anywhere else. And if you guys ever hear anyone else, any other channel stealing my Trumptricity bit, you guys let me know and I'll go bitch slap their ass. Right? Because I know people out there might think that Trumptricity is a funny thing to talk about, right? A funny comedic bit. So any comedians who want to steal my material, I'm just letting you know, if my audience catches you, I will fine you. No, bitch slap your bitch ass. Bitch. All right. There you go.
If you've seen any of my videos talking about modern cars, whether it's gas or EV, there is a plethora of problems happening with almost every manufacturer. So yes, you'll probably have less maintenance in an EV compared to a gas vehicle, but that doesn't mean it's immune to any maintenance or electrical problems whatsoever.
The F-150 Lightning, Wall Street Journal reported this week that Ford is likely going to cancel it. Ford has not communicated this. They have not confirmed this, but you know, a story like that at Wall Street Journal is pretty well sourced. But boy, the electric truck didn't last, did it? Ford Lightning owner Tyler Hoover.
So I bought it and I put a Model A pickup truck on a trailer, aluminum trailer, very light, and just tried to tow it 30 or 40 miles up and back on a full battery. And it is in wintertime. It almost didn't make it, not even 100 miles, towing a very light load. And I just made a video talking about it and saying this doesn't make any sense for any kind of use for anybody using a truck.
I remember. This is a big
The
deal.
amount of news coverage that got.
The facts that came out of that video are a real reason why this truck has not been successful.
And it's
So there you go. Electric truck doesn't have the power of a gas truck. I bet they don't talk about that when you go on the lot to buy one. I bet you they don't inform you that it's going to be weak and won't pull as much as a gas-powered truck. Nicholas Giannakakos says, I heard you were a shape-shifting Archon. Jake the asshole. Oh, I've been bodying him for the last few years. In fact, the reason why he changed his name from Jake the asshole to Jake the awake is because I bodied him as a shape-shifting Archon. Jake the awake, he also plays the role of John Am, and he also plays the role of Nick Johnson, and he also plays the role of bare knuckle boxer in the UK. He's a bloody shape-shifting Archon, a reptilianoid. And I exposed him. And of course, Jake's doing damage control right now as we speak, doing a live stream on his channel, telling people that he's not a shape-shifting Archon. He's doing damage control because I discovered he really was a bloody shape-shifting Archon. So he's trying to make the whole thing seem like a bloody joke. It's a form of damage control that these shields do. Yes, there is a guy who lives in Tasmania who talks like that, who thinks I am a shape-shifting archon. And people still bring him up. And I still get requested to do impressions of this guy. So if anybody's wondering who the hell that impression was, there's a guy named Aaron Haywood, and he lives in Tasmania, and he's made content about me being a shape-shifting archon. And he tells his audience that I play the role of multiple different people, including John Hamm and YouTuber Nick Johnson and some bare-knuckle boxer in the UK, and like 3 other guys. So, yes, believe it or not, there's an insane Tasmanian out there who thinks I am a shape-shifting archon, genuinely. And he's made videos about it. And I've talked about this like a couple of years ago. So here we are, I don't know, a couple of years removed from me showing you this guy, and I'm still getting people who want me to do an impression of this dude. Thank you very much, Nicholas Giannakakos, keeping the legend of Aaron Haywood alive with your comedic requests. Nicholas also sends another super chat, says, "You're one of the funniest and most genuine people on YouTube, my brother. God bless." Nicholas, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your multiple super chats tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm glad you've been following along for multiple years so that you know who Aaron Haywood is. And I'm glad you enjoy the channel enough to send me a donation in return for a comedic impression. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting the channel, not only tonight, but over the past several years. So this is just more proof that you guys are the best audience on YouTube. Fist bumps, double fist bumps to you, Nicholas, for your multiple donations tonight, brother. All right, let's get back to how much electric vehicles suck balls.
The cold weather is especially bad on these because they don't do any kind of battery heating with them. I'm not surprised that this is happening. This is getting canceled. It seems like a niche use case. Even in California, I don't see that many of them.
Now, with this specific example, the pickup truck EV market, it honestly has not done well. Some of them are wildly overpriced in the 6-figure range.
All right, looks like I missed the super chat. Looks like somebody has another comedic request. Do a COVID mask on and off at your fullest speed. All right, I think I know what you want. You want the danger safe bit. All right, we'll get right back to that video in just a second. There you go. So, of course, as you guys know, mask-tards, they wear a diaper on their face, a ritualistic shame muzzle, because they believe it keeps you safe. And they believe it keeps themselves safe. So this is how they go around virtue signaling. Like, oh, right now you're totally safe because I'm protecting you and I'm protecting myself. But now you're in danger. I might shoot spiky balls out of my mouth that might go in your mouth and up your nose and make you sick. You're in danger. You might die. But now you're safe. You don't have anything to worry about. Except that you might die because you're in danger because of my mouth and my nose. But now you're safe. But now you're in danger. But now you're safe. But now you're in danger. Now you're safe. Danger, safe, 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 danger, safe. Danger, you're in danger. Now you're safe. But now you're in danger. Now you're safe. And now you're in danger. Now you're safe. Everyone is safe from me. But now you're in fucking danger, can't you see? But now everything is totally okay because everything is safe. Now you're in danger. Ba 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 ba. Safe, danger, 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 safe. There you go. The danger safe routine. And that is a bit that I came up with back in 2020. That's like a 6-year-old comedy bit. Still getting requests to do that bit in 2025 going into 2026. How about that? All right, let's get back to how much electric vehicles suck donkey balls.
Just out of the budget for a majority of normal people, and then we could start talking about the overall range. It kind of sounds like some people don't look this up in the first place, but these batteries' performance varies greatly, especially if you're in cold weather. Doesn't matter if it's a big pickup truck or a normal size sedan, you're most likely going to have less range than what's advertised. Just another thing people don't consider and then later end up regretting, and sounds like that's one of the reasons for the cancellation of the F-150 Lightning. But let's go over to the home charging station.
Buyer's remorse of a Tesla. I've owned two now. This is a Model 3, and we also have a Model Y. Let me tell you some buyer's remorse, some things I regret not knowing. Well, I had no idea how much it cost to install a charger or my options at home. Most people charge at home. If you can't, there's plenty of superchargers. The cost is going to vary depending on the distance away from your electrical box. And that is because the cabling that they use is expensive. And the further away you go from where you install the charger from the box, the higher the cost.
Okay.
Yeah, these electric vehicles are not sounding so good, right? So when you sit and listen to people who have buyer's remorse tell you about all the bullshit associated with these electric vehicles, suddenly if you're driving a gas vehicle, now you're not feeling so bad.
So I don't know how to put this a different way because it seems like I'm just going to say the exact same thing over and over in this video, but there was no research done. You have two electric vehicles. You didn't know what the cost of an at-home charger would be before you ended up purchasing probably close to 6 figures worth of vehicles.
Wow. All right. So QWERTY True Q. And remember, ever since they changed the names to these YouTube handles, there's no spaces. So it can be kind of hard for me to figure out where the spaces are supposed to be in your YouTube handle. I really wish they would have left the YouTube names alone. I preferred it that way much better than these stupid handles with the @ sign. But QWERTY True Q says you should do Tom Grossi, giving the built-in NFL excuse for the constant doinks. All right. Tom Grossi making excuses for the doinks. All right. And if you guys are unaware, Tom Grossi is a fanboy who has his head up Roger Goodell's ass. Tom Grossi makes content about if the NFL was scripted. Tom Grossi basically does damage control because of guys like me who prove that the NFL is scripted. He's a total Fruit Loop and a fruit cake. All right, here we go. Tom Grossi, built-in excuse for the doinks. I'm an NFL fanboy who loves the Packers, and I'm gay with Brian Perna, and I can tell you, these doinks, the reason why these doinks are happening is because the extra point got moved back. So since the extra point got moved back, that means more teams are going to be kicking longer field goals, meaning there's more of a chance for doinks. And these kickers have gotten a lot stronger over the years, so that's why you're seeing more field goal attempts, which is leading to more doinks. I'm an NFL fanboy, and I love the Packers. I hope that we win, and I hope that the Packers don't doink the uprights. There's definitely not any technology inside the ball that's being manipulated. Oh no, all of these kicks are totally natural. When a kicker kicks the ball, it can go right, it can go left, and then it can go back right again. And that's all due to the skill possessed by the kicker. There's absolutely nothing out of the ordinary going on with any of these kicks. I hope the Packers win. If we can win the Super Bowl again, I'm going to gloat so much on Perna's show. He's going to be so jealous. There you go. There's Tom Grossi coming up with an excuse for the doinks. There's conspiracy theorists out there who think that the NFL is scripted but it's definitely not scripted. And that's why I make all of my cringy videos about if the NFL was scripted. If the NFL was scripted, they would hand a script to the Jets. What? You're telling me we have to lose again? Well, we better get a good draft pick, and we better get a new quarterback for next year. If the NFL was scripted, that's what would happen. There you go. Tom Grossi. Can you do the quartering guy again, talking about libtoids, but then randomly going into an ad for Tesla? Quartering guy talking about libtoids, but then randomly going to an ad for Tesla. Okay, if you say so. So one of the reasons that I think that it was most likely a libtoid that shot at Tim Pool's house is because he speaks so much truth, and the libtoids are actively trying to intimidate anyone on the right side who's speaking truth. So that's why, even though we can't say for sure, it's almost a guarantee that it was definitely a libtoid who tried to assassinate Tim Pool. And that's why I thank God every night before I go to bed that my channel's not big enough for like libtoids to try and assassinate me. And if you guys want to use my promo code down below, you can actually get a $10,000 rebate on a brand new used Cyber Tesla. If you guys remember, back when Trump was hanging out with Elon Musk, he was promoting Teslas, and I went out and I bought a Cybertruck, and it's been one of the best vehicles that I've ever owned. So if you guys want to buy a Cybertruck, then you could get a rebate by using my promo code down below. There you go. Quartering. I've never done a quartering impression until tonight, so I just started doing a quartering impression. Nicholas says Brad Pitt plays the role of Gary Dourdan. I have no idea, sir. I don't even know who Gary Dourdan is. I know who Brad Pitt is, but I am not sure who Gary Dourdan is. Okay, now I see who it is. It's an actor. All right. Hold on. All right. So do I think that this is Brad Pitt? I don't know about that. This is the first I've heard of Brad Pitt possibly being this guy. But you know what? Now that you mention it, there's this, the eyes do kind of have a Brad Pitt thing going on. I don't dismiss these theories that this celebrity might play the role of that celebrity. So whenever somebody brings me one of these theories that somebody like Brad Pitt might be playing a dual role as this guy, the eyes definitely have a little bit of a Brad Pitt thing going on. So you know what? might be an option. Possibly Brad Pitt is being a bloody moldy roller. He plays the role of not only Brad Pitt, he plays the role of actor Gary Doran. There's definitely something in the eyes there that has a resemblance to Brad Pitt for sure. You know what else I heard? That Brad Pitt also plays the role of Benicio del Toro. So I've heard Brad Pitt has a dual role as this dude, and that Benicio del Toro is Brad Pitt. But that's like in the same category as like Jimi Hendrix being Morgan Freeman. I can't prove it. I don't know. I can see similarities, but I can't say for sure. So there's certain theories where like I find it interesting, but I can't prove it or disprove it. So I'm not going to go out and say for sure I think Brad Pitt is playing the role of Benicio del Toro or Gary Doran, but I will give you props for making a semi-compelling argument that perhaps he does. And I never thought to look that up before, and I didn't really know who Gary Doran was. But now that I've seen him, I have seen him in other stuff. I can't think of a show or movie that he does, but I have seen that guy on TV before. Does anybody know what movie or show that guy's in? Anyway. Morgan Freeman talks nothing like Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, see, that's one of those where like I can't prove it and I'm not going to like make a video about it, but I have heard that before. All right. Scott Goriup says, Jake, who hooked you up with the premium sub? The streams continue to improve and entertain at the highest levels. Thanks once again. Oh, you mean YouTube Premium? I bought YouTube Premium so that it's like $14 a month, and it's so that I can show you guys videos without having to skip through the ads. And on my phone and on my laptop, you know, like I watch videos of the NFL highlights, and if I don't have some sort of ad blocker, then that means I got to sit through all the damn ads. And so I was thinking that if I just paid the $14 a month for the YouTube Premium, that I'll save a bunch of time not watching the ads. And when I do my live streams, we won't have to worry about watching the ads. And then I was just thinking maybe YouTube will like promote me a little more or hook me up with some more views if I am a premium member versus a regular member. I don't know. And so I know there's all these different ad blockers and stuff, but then like on my phone and stuff, like if I have my YouTube app open, I just want to be able to like click on a video and not have to sit through the ad. And then sometimes when I'm listening to like long podcasts or if I want to listen to music, the ads are like constant. So yeah, I got the YouTube Premium so that we don't have to deal with the ads. And thank you very much for showing up to the stream, participating in the stream, and donating to the stream. I'm glad you think that the streams are entertaining. I've been doing this for a long time. I talk about all sorts of different stuff. So it can kind of all depend, you know, what the subject matter is as to how many people are going to show up. So the most people we ever had watching live was when Trump got fake shot in his ear, right? So if a major event goes down, we get flooded with way more people. And then during times where there's no major story, then the streams don't draw as many people. So some of the biggest crowds we've had is when there's a major story that everyone's talking about and I'm streaming about it. Another time we had a huge crowd was when I was breaking down Katy Perry, fate going to space. We had a huge crowd that night. So basically it comes down to if there's a huge story on the world stage, we get a bigger crowd. If it's something everyone's talking about, we get a bigger crowd. And then during weeks and months where there's not that many big stories, then I have to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel as far as the scripted news is concerned. And then we don't get as many people watching. So glad you enjoy the streams and that you continue to enjoy the streams. Thank you, Scott Goriup, for the super chat donation, brother. We can go and we can finish up or watch a little more of the people who regret buying electric vehicles video.
I don't really know what to say other than that. The first comment from you guys is pretty spot on with a lot of these people's problems. But we'll move on to some of the insurance costs.
So this guy went to insure his Cybertruck and he was quoted $400 a month. And then he was told he was underquoted and the person who underquoted him was fired and it was actually supposed to be $800 a month. He was like, you mean $800 for 6 months, right? And State Farm said, no, $800 per month. So you'll be paying $9,600 per year. Someone else chimed in and said Geico dropped their Cybertruck coverage completely and now they're paying $600 a month with Progressive. Another person said that Progressive refused to cover their full self-driving, which is like a $6,000 purchase in the event that their Cybertruck was totaled.
There you go. We were talking about the Cybertruck earlier, and here you have this guy saying that insurance companies are charging huge amounts to insure Cybertrucks, and some companies are refusing to insure the Cybertruck.
$600 a month with Progressive. Another person said that Progressive refused to cover their full self-driving, which is like a $6,000 purchase in the event that their Cybertruck was totaled. A company called Hanover Insurance is dropping the Cybertruck completely, including for people that have had 0 accidents ever.
So if the insurance companies are not willing to insure this vehicle, then that means there must be some huge issues with this vehicle, and these insurance companies don't want to foot the bill.
Said that we are unable to adequately rate and underwrite this vehicle. Also, it looks like Geico is now refusing to cover the Cybertruck at all and has terminated all existing Cybertruck policies, saying it doesn't meet our underwriting guidelines.
Okay, so we'll go.
Mike, glad you could make it. Mike 6. He says, I'm late to the best show ever. Mike, you have sent multiple super chats and you requested in a few of them that I do a Richard Pryor impression, and I told you that I haven't watched Richard Pryor in a long time and that I didn't have anything prepared. So I went back and I watched a couple Richard Pryor clips specifically for you, bro, because you donated to the channel multiple times and you requested a Richard Pryor impression, and I was unable to bring it to you. So I went and I checked out a few old school Richard Pryor comedy performances. Now I'm going to attempt to do my first ever Richard Pryor impression for you guys. So I recently took a trip back to the homeland. I went back to Africa, and in Africa, they got some real lions. Not like them fake lions you be fucking with at the zoo. You know them kind. Hey, lion, motherfucker. Suck my dick, motherfucker. Now, these are some real lions. They was hiding behind the bush, looking at us like, yeah, come on, motherfucker. Step out that car. We're going to eat your ass. Go ahead and bring that camera with you, too. Y'all, I was talking to Stephen Hawking. In fact, Stephen Hawking was doing a bunch of mumbling, and Stephen Hawking told me that he wants to meet a fine young female at the dance club. He want to grab hold of a fine young lady's juicy ass. Y'all, Stephen Hawking, he was mumbling and shit. He was doing all that mumbling and he was saying, and what he was saying was he wanted to get some pussy before he died. Stephen Hawking's dying wish is to get some pussy before he died. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. Are there any ladies here tonight who want to give Stephen Hawking some pussy? He'll pay for it. All right, there you go. I had to work on that a little bit, and I did that specifically for you, bro, because you asked like 2 or 3 different times for Richard Pryor, and I didn't have anything prepared. I hadn't practiced a Richard Pryor impression, and I didn't want to try it and not do a good job. So I specifically went back and watched a few old comedy bits and tried to dial in my Richard Pryor. Now, I know it's not the best Richard Pryor, but for a white guy, it's not too bad, right? So there you go, Mike 6. That one is dedicated specifically to you. You like how I mixed in the Richard Pryor translating for Stephen Hawking? Go ask any other comedian in the world to do an impression of Richard Pryor translating for Stephen Hawking and see what they do, and then compare it to what I just did. I'll bet you there isn't a single person alive who would even try to do Richard Pryor translating for Stephen Hawking. And if they did, they would probably crash and burn. Thank you very much, Mike 6.
Over to the comments before I say anything. It actually beat the record for worst safety and reliability rating since the Ford Pinto, which was legendary at how unsafe it was. You know a vehicle is great when insurance companies just say no, and this is obviously just for the Cybertruck you're driving, a dumpster on wheels, a very odd looking truck with sharp edges, could probably do a lot of damage in an accident, but we've seen other examples on this channel with electric vehicles just having higher insurance in general. I remember one where a guy was flipping out because he just got a Tesla Model Y, nothing crazy, and it was $600 or $800 a month for that vehicle.
Mike 6 coming through with the biggest donation of the night. Very, very generous donation from Mike 6. He says, hell yeah, thank you. Jake, you are the funniest man alive. This is the best shill-free zone. Brother, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your very generous super chat donation. And that is an amazing compliment. I like to think of myself as the funniest man alive, but that doesn't mean anything if no one else believes it. So the fact that I got people here watching me who also agree that I am the funniest man in the world and who give me these wonderful compliments, you guys make me want to continue to try and live up to being the funniest man in the world. This is one of the most fun jobs, if not the most fun job I have ever had. Can't really think of doing anything other than this. Thank you very much, Mike 6, coming through with a awesome super chat donation and compliment at the same time. The fact that you showed up and I was able to give you the impression that you asked for, last week, the week before, whatever it was, and now you're sending an even bigger donation. You are awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Double fist bumps to Mike. Thank you, Mike. Glad you showed up to the stream tonight, brother. I was honestly getting ready to wrap up the stream here pretty quick. So the fact that you made it, and then I got to do my Richard Pryor impression and get this awesome compliment from you, man. I just can't thank you guys enough. Sometimes I'm stupefied by the amount of awesome support that I have. And not every impression, and comedic bit that I do is going to be a home run, but I try my best to make it as funny as possible for you guys. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning says 10K and you have that silver play button. Yep, we're getting closer. So 10,000 more subs and we're going to hit the 100K. It might take a few years to slow. Like during the football season, I'll pick up some new subs, but then once football season ends, then it's like my subscriber count flatlines and I don't get any new subs throughout the entire spring and summer until the next football season starts up. So during this time of year, I gain subs because of the NFL rigged content. And then the non-football stuff that I'm putting out doesn't really pick up any new subs. So it really comes down to like how much the NFL videos get pushed. And the last few that I've put out have been doing well. So who knows? We might be able to make it to 100,000 if everything goes well and I have a bunch of videos do well. Maybe I can make it in 2026. But if I don't make it in 2026, then it might happen in 2027. So I'm going to keep doing my thing, doing what I do. And when the 100,000 play button comes, then it comes, you know. Thank you, Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning.
I think was around the $50,000 mark. Obviously still expensive, but nothing insane now. So yet again, another thing you need to consider before purchasing. And here's another one.
If anybody needs to be defluenced from buying an electric vehicle, let me tell you how much my tags are. I'll give you a second to guess. Whatever you guessed, probably wrong. $560. The electric vehicle tags cost more than the regular gas tags. It's because when you fill up your car with gas, embedded in the price of the gas is gas tax, and that tax goes towards the roads. So to make up for you driving your electric vehicle on roads without paying your fair share of gas tax, your plate renewals are much higher.
So there's another reason why you might not want to buy an electric vehicle. The cost to keep it tagged is apparently like double the cost. So my old ass Toyota Sienna, when I renew the registration, I think it's like a little over $200. So what she was saying was it was like between $500 and $600 to tag the electric vehicle. So there's something you might not have known, is that the cost of the gas has a built-in cost that keeps your tag costs lower. Interesting. All right. All right, we'll watch a little bit more and then we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Much higher.
And one of the big reasons that I've seen people purchase EVs is that they run through gas so much. It's so expensive. But you still have to pay to charge your vehicle as well, along with these extra fees. We can go over to the comments though. Not true. My tag for my EV is $75 for 2 years. The cost is tied to your state. Each one does it differently. Some have a set price for registration and some tie the registration to the vehicle value. And there's a response. Yeah, I just got it renewed in Michigan. My F-150 was $250 and my Model Y was $460 after the EV fees. Each state does things differently. So it was true. I looked this up as well. EV plates off.
Yourself an electric vehicle. Well, coming from the mouth of a guy that drove across the country in an electric vehicle, what happened is the infrastructure just isn't there. I have so many videos on that. That's not what this video is about. This car was worth a ton of money when I bought it. It's more expensive to buy an electric vehicle than an internal combustion engine vehicle because it's more expensive to build a car like this. And unfortunately, it comes with a lot of headaches as well. Now, you don't have to go buy a premium vehicle. You get a Chevy Volt, which is an also electric car. Nevertheless, the charging infrastructure outside of your own home is really, really difficult. And it's not as reliable as one would hope it had been, and it's not. And sadly, people are starting to realize that it's just less expensive to go buy myself a gas engine Audi than it is to go buy myself an electric Audi or an electric Chevy or an electric Ford. So much so that Toyota has said it themselves that they don't even want to build all electric cars. They go hybrid.
Okay, so there's a few things to talk about. It really depends on what type of electric vehicle or gas vehicle you're purchasing, because if you end up getting an Audi EV, actually...
All right, this is the most important part, and then I'm going to be done with this video. The secondary market on electric vehicles apparently is really bad. People don't want to buy used electric vehicles.
Lost.
There is no used car market for EVs. We as salespeople, Tesla included, need to do a better job of explaining to people that when you buy an EV, you have to understand that the market on it, when you trade it in or try to sell it privately, is not going to be there. EVs are the only vehicles where what KBB is saying, what Edmunds is saying, what all of those online trade value things are saying is not real because they don't sell. A 5-year-old F-150 still has a 36-gallon tank. Doesn't work the same way for an EV. 5 years later, that battery might have lost 25% of its life. I get it. It goes against everything we were taught, but we really are shooting ourselves in the foot when they come back and try to trade it, and they're shocked that they're not even at half what they paid for the car 2 years later.
So within 2 years, it loses more than half of its value. And there's no or hardly any market for a used electric vehicle. good to know. So anybody looking to buy an electric vehicle, you might want to do some proper research before you make that purchase. There you go. Lintaway says, cars just depreciate no matter what. Always good to stay cheap and switch often. Kelly says, I bought a Corolla. I'm also a Toyota man. My last few vehicles have been older Toyotas. I buy them outright with cash, and then I drive the shit out of them. And then when I'm done with them, just before the wheels fall off, I sell it to someone else. So I was talking earlier about how I had a Camry and I drove it for a few years and I'd paid like $3,500 for it. And I sold it for $3,000. So my used Camry actually held its value pretty strong, and I got nearly all my money back out of it. So for me to drive a car for 2 years and then get almost all my money back out of it is a much better option than going into wicked debt driving some electric vehicle that can be programmed to break down. All right. And with that said, you guys, I am getting hungry. I'm getting a little tired. My dog wants to go out. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me on a Saturday night. You can do whatever you want with your weekend. So if you chose to hang out with me, I really, really do appreciate it. And extra big thank yous to all the people who sent super chat donations tonight. There were quite a few super chat donations, and I cannot thank you guys enough. It just goes to show you, you are the most awesome audience on YouTube. And I really can't thank you guys enough. Without you guys, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you for continuing to be there for me, and I'm going to continue to be there for you. So until next time, this is your favorite comedian and mine saying good night. Take care. I will see you in the next stream. See you in the next video, whichever comes first. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. Bye-bye, everyone. Peace out. I love you guys.